Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. What is that reason you think?
So, in short, I'd say the reason is Jesus. And my question is like, do you believe in the existence of Jesus?
Jesus likely existed as a real person, sure.
Okay, okay. Do you believe in the crucifixion of Jesus?
The crucifixion, that's something that likely happened. Yeah, I think Tacitus wrote about it.
And then,
And
do you
not only
believe?
that, and not only that, this was around the Roman Empire, so Jesus was going around saying that he's going to create a new kingdom. So yeah, that's like back then the Romans wouldn't have been happy about someone saying that they're going to topple their empire, of course. So yeah, the crucifixion likely happened.
Do you believe in the resurrection? Do you believe a historical fact is the resurrection of Jesus?
No, the resurrection I don't think is a historical fact. We can't verify that at all. There's no way to do that.
Going back to the existence of Jesus, though, so do you believe that he could perform? He could like walk on water, Jesus?
No.
So that's so it's like we're not talking about the same person then, because the Jesus I believe existed could walk on water
Yeah, I mean there
and
were.
perform miracles and whatnot.
Yeah, I just don't believe that that's true. I think he was a regular guy, and all of those things that people are said that he could have done were just legends added to him. Because there are people like that throughout history that have just legends added to them, even though they were real people, like the Buddha, Shango, one of the gods of African religion. Those are real people, right? Actual people. But they have legends added to them. Like we see that happening in modern times too. Like for example, the Emperor of Japan during World War II, people thought that he had, actual powers as well. They thought he was divine. You know what I mean? So in modern times, even then, like people who are completely human are said to have like supernatural abilities. So it wouldn't surprise me that someone from an ancient time who could have been like a very charismatic preacher or whatever could also have the same type of legends written about him.
So after Jesus was crucified, then what do you think happened?
He died. That's it.
And then where's the body? Oh, come on, man. See, as a Christian, I believe that in the resurrection of Jesus and whatnot. But I'm curious because you can't just dismiss that. Then, like, what do you think happened after? Yeah, after the death of Jesus,
It,
instead of the resurrection, what the heck do you think
the
happened to
the
Jesus?
like they well, it was common practice for the Romans to throw them in mass graves. So it probably
Right.
got
Okay.
his
Okay.
body probably
So
got
that's what you
thrown
think
a
happened.
yeah, his body probably got thrown in a mass grave and it decomposed and that's it.
You think they would let that happen to someone as uh who was had so much attention on them
Of
as
course.
Jesus?
Of course, that'll be the
Oh
point.
goodness.
That'll be the point to squash his entire movement. That'll be the point.
So, well, wait. So you don't think it was even because so you don't even believe the body of Jesus was even laid in a tomb?
No, I don't. That because the only place that said that he was laid in the tomb is the Bible itself. We don't have any other sources that say that, right? So I'm not saying that he couldn't have been buried in a tomb, but it was common practices for the Romans to throw them in mass graves. Why would they respect an enemy of the state by putting him in the tomb?
So, do you think Bible is like true then up to the crucifixion of Jesus? And then it
No, I think the Bible's more as historical fiction. Like it names real people and real places. Like for example, the kingdom of Israel and Judah were real kingdoms. We have archaeological evidence of that. Even King David was a real guy. You know what I mean? The prophet Samuel and Balaam, they were probably real dudes too. But did the prophet Balaam have actual powers, or Gad? Did he have actual powers? No. They're
so our
just
disconnect
figures.
is definitely just you don't believe I believe in the resurrection of Jesus and you do not. And then going back even further, you don't even believe in the existence of the miracles of Jesus.
No, why would I? Like the thing is, the question becomes, not only what is the evidence, but what's a good reason for us to even believe those things happened. We can have no problem with Jesus existing as a guy, but that does not necessarily mean that his powers were real,
I'm
even
trying to
if we were
figure
both
out
to agree
if
with that.
you denying the miracles of existence would, or the miracles of Jesus would constitute you just straight up denying the existence of Jesus.
It does not, because Jesus could exist as a person and not actually have
But that's
powers,
not the
like I
same
said.
person then.
Yeah, sure it is. It could be the same
I
person.
don't think it is. No, because the Jesus who I believe in, who us Christians believe in the Jesus who performed miracles and healed the sick
Yeah, I
and
understand that
fed 5,000 people.
I
So
understand
you're
that you
talking about
believe
someone else.
I understand that you believe that Jesus made miracles. I understand that you believe that. That's all good and well. That doesn't mean that that actually happened. That's the point. Like, I
So are
appreciate
you
that to hear.
denying the existence of Jesus?
I'm not denying the existence of Jesus. Jesus could have existed as a real person, but just because he exists as a real person does not mean that he had
The
powers.
person who performed miracles, though, Jesus.
If you're separating them as two different people, then no, I don't believe in Jesus that you believe, because that's not
So you
historical.
don't believe in the existence of the miracle healing of people, Jesus.
No, I believe in the existence of Jesus as a regular motherfucker walking around Palestine. That's the Jesus that I accepted existed. He was a
So I guess we
regular
don't
he was a
believe in the
regular
same
he was a
Jesus.
regular and apocalyptic preacher going around, talking to people in Palestine. That's the one that I accept existed. And then people thought that he had powers.
Playing don't talk, okay?
So it seems we do not believe in the same Jesus then. Jesus.
Yeah, you believe in a miraculous super wizard. I don't.
If you were to see proof, would you believe it of Jesus?
Yeah, sure. Show me evidence of something of like
Okay,
him
and
performing
if you
miracles.
were shown proof, would you be like willing to unalive for Jesus?
Hell nah. I still
So
want to
then I don't
live.
think you're gonna get the proof, because that's what happened to everyone who was shown proof of Jesus.
How do we know
They
that?
were asked basically to
Can I
testify,
say something?
Hold
and
on,
they
hold on, hold
testified
on.
with their life for Jesus.
Wait. How do we know that?
Oh gosh.
No, that's a question. How do we know that?
Well, it's all basically compiled in the Bible, and it's just like, yeah, basically, because the first 12 people who were shown proof of Jesus were brutally unalived for their testimony of Jesus.
All right. Well, you got the Panther claw, so you gotta go. Appreciate you being up here, though. All right. So, Juju, how's it going, Juju?
I'm doing well.
All right, Juju, how's it? All right. So, are you at least 18, and do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I am 54, but I used to be a Muslim. The reason I joined this, I was going to actually say something to Bruce, but he's off right now, so I couldn't really comment on that. I am atheist right now. I don't believe in any God.
Ah, W. Hey, appreciate you being here. But
I was a Muslim. I was a hardcore Muslim, and I looked for evidence. I looked for anything that makes me believe that there is such a thing existed. But absolutely, since I was like a little kid, I was getting punished because I asked questions, and the questions that don't have any answers, and they punish you for that. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
have faith, have faith, have faith. That's the biggest thing that they have to tell you. And I was gonna say about the guy who actually was talking about the miracles that Jesus supposed to be he has performed and stuff like that. I was gonna tell him, like, were you there? I mean, honestly, simple as that. Were you there? Did you actually experience these miracles yourself? Did you see him perform that, or you just read it in a book?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
a simple story that you actually read, and you chose to believe in that story. There's absolutely nothing back it as far as evidence goes. And
Yeah.
these are the problems with these people. Go ahead and read a good story, and they choose to believe it and unalive people because of this little book that is telling them to do so. It's so sad. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But Juju, I appreciate you being up. I'm gonna go ahead and get someone else up so we can get some more people in the building. But go ahead and tap that screen for me, all right? And hopefully we can get some more debates going. I appreciate you, though, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, appreciate you, Juju.
Thank you.
All right, guys. All right. So the reason the first one was dropped because they got the Panther Claw, and the Panther Claw is uh the symbol to drop the person because they're wasting my time. Tahir sent that Panther Claw. Shout out to you, Tahir. Daily, how's it going, Daily? Are you at least 18, and do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Hey, I'm 39, but I'm an atheist as well, or semi-atheist. But just wanna ask, have you seen that lady on TikTok asking churches whether or not they'll donate to the her hungry baby?
I have heard of that. I have heard of that, and I was gonna do a video on that actually because it shows me that Western Christianity is just basically selfishness at this point, because like there were people responding to it like saying that first churches help their own members before they help strangers, which is kind of understandable, right? But a lot of people are also saying that churches require you to come speak to them first. You know what I mean? And spread the word of Jesus before they help you out. That just shows me the predatory nature of what churches are now. They don't want to actually help. They just want to get more parishioners. So that's why they invite you in before they actually help you. But if you're not going to receive the quote unquote good word or the message, you just need the help, they're not going to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the predatory nature of, in my opinion, about churches. I'm pretty sure there were plenty that said, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and help you out, but most of them out there are just not doing that.
So there was about like 40 something that said no, about 10 or 11 that said yes. But so I think it's not whether or not God is real that you have an issue with. It's the modern interpretation of God and the way that modern uh, society believes in God. Again, I'm one of those people that's on the fence about God myself, but the modern interpretation, like the way that we talk about where the churches are not helping people, they're not really walking the walk of what the Bible or Jesus actually was preaching, right? So these churches are very hypocritical, and so are these people that are following the religion. And it's not just Christianity; it's all these other religions as well. And that's the issue that I have with modern religion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
It's,
I can see what you mean by that.
it's not the I have an issue with God, but it's the issue that where the people and the people behind preaching about God.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I could see having an issue with the people themselves and not um actually like God as an idea. You know what I mean? I think for I kind of line up that way as well because I don't really care if anyone believes or not. I only talk about it because like its effects on society. Um, if if religion was not involved in politics, if it was not involved in sciences and things like that, then I don't think anybody would have an issue. But because it's causing such an issue of people now doubting whether the moon is real, like it's becoming it's become a massive issue. Anti-intellectualism is a problem, and
So
we
that's
need to
not a
resolve it.
God issue. That's not a God issue. That's a people issue, and the people's interpretation of God issue, and how people are perceiving God and everything.
Right, right. No,
You know what I mean?
of course, yeah. That is a people issue, but when it comes to God itself, we have no evidence that that one exists either. So
I'm not.
there's no
I'm
need
not
to assume.
disagreeing with. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying it's the people. If you look at all, not now, if you go back right, and you look at all the different religions, not just Western, but also Eastern, there's somewhat of an underlying message there that all religions have. And once you start looking at that underlying message, and that's usually love. Love is the underlying message of all these religions. And that's if you want to get what do you call it, abstract, love could be interpretation of God. We do know love exists, right?
Yeah, sure.
So could we say if God is love, love is God, that exists?
That doesn't really
I'm not saying
pin.
a magic being up in the sky. I'm talking about just love.
Yeah, I mean, love is a thing, and God is a thing unto itself. If we're conflating the words and the definitions now.
Well, again, this is my interpretation. I'm saying there's people's interpretation that bastardize the term God, and mine could very well as well. I'm not making mine like holier than thou. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's not the God that's an issue. It's finding it's the people, and then I think realistically, it's you finding what God is to you, whether if it's a person in the sky, person or whatever. If you don't even believe it, that's fine too. But I think it's the people really that are the issue when it comes to your question, not the actual, or maybe the person in the sky is, but that's brought up by someone that people that are bastardized realistically their
Right,
own
right.
religion.
So when people have this idea of some person in the sky or a supernatural being outside of space and time, with no evidence to show that this is true, that leads to other issues, because if you can accept that without evidence, there are a lot of other things you can accept without evidence. You see what I'm saying? So the belief in itself can be problematic, because, and that's why people actually care about what other believes, because of what it makes you do. Now, if what you believe, what it makes you do is, altruistic, sure, that I don't think anybody has an issue with that. But if it causes more damage, like lack of critical thinking and stuff like that, then yeah, people are gonna have an issue with it, and that's what we see in our modern society. We can keep saying that's the people and not God itself, but again, there's no reason to assume that one exists anyway.
God is, I'm saying the interpretation of the person himself. It's not, you know what I mean? So whether or not it's real is interpretation of the person.
Okay. All right, I got you, Daily. Let me talk to Lovely One real quick, and appreciate you. Keep following me, and then we'll talk more. All right. I'm sorry. Is your name Lovely or Lonely? I can't really read what that means. Or Love One.
It's inlay.
Inley. Okay.
Hmm.
Cool. Inley. Inley, how's it going? Are you at least 18, and do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
You say if I'm at least a teen?
At least 18.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm 29,
Uh,
and there is a lot of reasons that I could provide to why you should believe in God, but I want to keep it to what's going on right now because are you in the United States?
yep.
You see, there's like a government shutdown, right?
Yep.
So I think right now, one of the most important things that's going on right now is like that should make people believe in God. Is like the same thing happened during COVID when people had no, you know, they just was rushing to whatever the system have for them. You know, they had no plan. They didn't know what was going on. They was lost. They was confused. All of that. Right now, the world is actually in the process of being reset.
Okay, Inley, that didn't give me a good reason to believe in a God.
The good. Oh,
That's just yeah, sure. A lot of scary things are happening, but that's always been the case, right?
okay, not necessarily because right now, what's in my heart, what's really because I feel like, bro, if somebody right now you go out, you look outside your window, you look at the sky, and you choose not to believe in God, that's a personal decision that you are making. I feel like God, invisible qualities, creation just screams God. And there's a lot of different, there's a lot of different ways I can go about believing in God. But I feel like right now, in the time that we are in right now, we seeing that our reality, what's around us, everything is a lie.
I'm not sure
You
what you
know?
mean by that. I mean, yeah, our economic system is complete shit, right? Yeah, that's always been the case. People have critiqued capitalism for like the past 100 years. So, but like, what I'm saying is that when you say that, our economic system is, basically a balloon, which is what Karl Marx pointed out. As a matter of fact, there are Africans who have pointed that out before Karl Marx. But the thing is, though, like, our economic system being the way it is doesn't show me why I should believe in a God. Existence existing, going out there and seeing, like, look at the trees and stuff, look at the stars and the planets. That doesn't show me why I should believe in God. Like, nature is very, very pretty. I agree. Like, I like going on hikes and stuff like that. The stars, I'm a space nerd, so I love the stars and planets. I love looking at stuff like that, right? I hope to live to one day to see humans walk on Mars. I hope it happens in my lifetime. You feel me? Because that would be very, very exciting. That doesn't mean a God exists.
Okay, so I feel like that's a decision that you have the full ability to make and you can choose to make, as far as like the reasons why you choose not to believe. But I'm gonna go to this other part though. I think right now, one reason is to believe. I feel like right now, the number one reason right now somebody should believe in God. They should believe in God, is because you do not wanna like play with, like, your eternal security, because nobody knows what happens actually when we die. You know.
Yeah,
So
we don't know what happens after we die, but that doesn't mean that believing in a God is going to guarantee anything. Because
no, believing in the one and true God guarantees something.
I mean, the thing is, who are you to decide what's the one and true God? Like, what if you're deceived? Then voodoo is real.
Let's just trace everything, because if we really trace everything back to like the first, you could say, world empire, where everybody migrated from, you could say present day like Mesopotamia.
That's not where everybody migrated from. Everybody migrated from Africa.
That was in modern day Iraq. That's
Iraq is not in Africa.
What you think, bro? Don't say anything about the Middle East, bro, because that's something that was just came up with like in the 19th century, bro.
The Middle East was a term that was made by colonialism. That doesn't mean that Iraq was in Africa. Iraq is thousands of kilometers away from Africa.
So
Iraq is
Egypt
in Asia.
is not in Africa.
Egypt is in Africa, but Mesopotamia is not in Egypt. Mesopotamia is in Iraq. And Iraq is thousands of kilometers away from Egypt.
Iraq is in Africa. I don't know what map you are looking at.
No, it's not.
I know they messed up with the map.
Iraq is not in Africa, bro.
Let me get back to what I was saying about like the first.
No. We're gonna handle this first. Iraq is not in Africa, bro.
Where is Iraq, bro?
Iraq is in Asia. It's in the Middle East.
That's Africa, bro. That's
The
Africa,
Middle East
man.
is not Africa.
Tyler, wait, you see, earlier you just said Egypt is in so-called Middle East, bro. That's in Africa, bro.
I didn't
Don't
say
let these
Egypt
people
was in the
lie to
Middle
you,
East.
bro.
I didn't say Egypt was in the Middle East. I didn't say that. I said Egypt is in Africa, but Iraq is thousands of kilometers away from Egypt.
Look at
I
the
didn't say,
complete
hold on,
map.
listen. This is what I said, because you're not tracking me. I didn't say that Egypt is in the Middle East. I said Egypt is in Africa, but Iraq is thousands of kilometers away from Egypt. They're not on the same continent.
Okay, so let's not get okay. Let's just leave it at that real quick. So what I was saying is that, as far as like you said that, who am I to say who is the one and true God? That's what you had said, right?
Yeah. Why do you decide who's the one and true God? How do you know that?
Because our reality is really polytheism versus monotheism. If you trace everything, like everybody believes, all of that really is paganism.
If you trace everyone's beliefs, all of it is paganism. I'm not sure what you mean.
It's the same structure.
What? What does that mean?
It's the same structure. Like to like the first world empire, the first civilization, to the second one, to the third one, to the fourth one, to the fifth one, to the sixth one, is the same thing.
Hold on, slow down. What are you talking about? I'm not following you at all. What are you saying?
No, what I'm saying is, like, when it comes down to okay, let's just say the history of religion, right? there is monotheism versus polytheism, right?
Okay, well, everyone started off with animism, then it became polytheism, then
No,
it
everybody
became
started off poly.
no. Everybody started off with in animism.
What? No, everybody started off with polytheism, bro. The belief of many gods.
Right, right. I understand that, but before polytheism was animism.
Where did you get this research from?
Like historical researchers, people who research history and the history of religion. Like yes, yes, I'm not saying that polytheism wasn't before monotheism. Yes, there's monotheism before that was polytheism, but before polytheism was animism. But your point on polytheism, what is your point there?
What I'm saying is that the reason I can say that the one and true God is because once you understand polytheism and monotheism, you can see where every religion came from.
Every religion came from their cultural understand, like their environment and their cultural understandings. Like if you look at everywhere, like for example, if you look at ancient Greece, right? A lot of their gods are modeled after what was going on in their environment. Same thing with Egypt, same thing with Africa. A lot of their like polytheist religions are based off what was happening in their environment.
So what was the Greece gods?
Like ancient Greece, like Zeus and Hera and like Poseidon. Excuse me, hold on. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. So Poseidon was the god of oceans and earthquakes, right? And if you look at Greece gets earthquakes, and they're in a lot of islands. They get oceans, and because of that, they're around a lot of islands. They get a lot of storms, so you get a lot of lightning happening around there. So that's where Zeus comes from. Also, the type of weather that they're in, there's harvest seasons. That's where you get people like Hera and Gaia and stuff like that. Also, these they were in the middle of a trade route, right? So you get a lot of people doing trade, and when you have trade, you have a lot of war. You know what I mean? So that's where you get gods like Ares for war and gods like Athena for battles. You see what I'm saying? And they didn't understand how the sun works, or they understand that the earth is actually rotating. You know what I mean? So that's where you get like legends of like Apollo, you know what I mean, saying that he's in his chariot around the sun. They also didn't understand like that black people could have different skin. So when they did see Egyptians, when they did see Sudanese people, when they did see Nubians, they were like, oh, Apollo must have ran over this landmass, and that's how people got darker skin. It's all lines up with what was going on in their environment. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what polytheism is basically. But like all of them, go into monotheism. Like a lot of sticking with ancient Greece, a lot of them like they acknowledge the other gods, but the different city states chose a patron god. Like Olympia had Zeus as their patron god. Corinth had Poseidon as their patron god. Athena had Athens as their patron god. You see what I'm saying? So like that happens a lot, and we see the same thing in the Bible too, where it even says in one of the verses, "Who amongst the gods are like you, O Lord?" You know what I mean? Which means that the ancient Israelites they actually acknowledge other gods. It's just that Yahweh was their patron one, and then later on in the Bible, you start to see people say there's no other god but Yahweh.
I remember like one of the things it said you should have no other gods but me.
Say that again.
Wasn't one of the first commandments is you shouldn't have no other
gods but me. Yeah, exactly. So we know that the ancient Israelites or the Canaanites around that area, the ancient Palestinians, yeah, they had other gods. It's just that Yahweh was the one that they chose to worship.
I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand. I get you. And another thing, I don't want to make the whole subject because it's like I don't want to go off subject, but the whole they didn't know the earth was round thingy, bro. That's like y'all need to stop with that, bro.
No, they knew the earth was round. They didn't know that it was rotating.
Didn't all the civilizations before the modern times that we are in now thought the earth was standing still, it was flat?
They thought the earth was standing still. No, the ancient Greeks knew it was round. Ancient Greeks knew it was round. The Egyptians as well. And also, I think the Indians and the Chinese, they all knew it was round, but they didn't know that it was standing still. They didn't know that it was rotating. They thought it was standing still. That's what they didn't know. Which is why they came up with gods, different gods for the sun and the moon, because that's what they thought it was. They didn't understand that the earth rotates. They knew it was round. They didn't know that it was rotating.
All right, but you Haitian, right? You so-called Haitian, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm about to get off this panel. I just wanted to like share that, but before I go though, I want you and everybody else who's listening to look into the second Exodus. The second Exodus is going to be the map.
All right. Eric, how's it going, Eric? Are you at least 18, and do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Hey, my name's Eric. I'm 6 years old. No, I don't believe in a God. When I came on the panel, I typed in there, God is within each other. So when you see people praying for whatever they're praying for, they're talking to themselves to make it come to fruition.
I'm sorry, I kind of butchered your name there. I apologize. So, Agape Love, go ahead and I've been inviting you up so we can talk about this. Like I said in the beginning of this, you probably weren't here. I do not like talking to comments. I don't like going back and forth in the comments. Just when I invite you up, just go ahead and come on up and we can actually talk about it. Unless you are busy or something, like you're with children, then I definitely understand that. If you're with children, I definitely get that you don't want to disturb them because they may be sleeping. But Agapa, if you would like to actually have the conversation, then go on, come on up, which is why I keep inviting you up, because you keep talking in the comments, but you never actually want to speak about the subject. All right, guys, let's get. I have a new live goal up. Let me go ahead and see if I can pin the live goal again. It's not letting me pin it. Okay, there it is. All right, y'all. The live goal is pinned. If you'd like to donate to me, I appreciate all your support. You can go ahead and donate. Help me get to my live goal. Let's keep tapping that screen, y'all. We are almost at the goal. Let's try to get us to 15K likes, and in the next about 20 to 30 minutes. Matter of fact, let's get to 15K likes in the next 15 minutes. All right. Agap or Agapa, I'm not sure how to say your name. Are you there?
Agape.
Agape, there we go.
Yeah,
Agape,
can you hear me?
I can hear you now. All right, Agape, how's it going? You've been speaking in the comments, so you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I'm good.
Are you at least 18?
I am. I'm 40.
40. All right. What is the reason you think that we should believe in it? As a matter of fact, I'm going to change this subject because I finally got one of you up here. Actually, I should have changed this in the last one. All right. So here we go. Why should black people be Christian, Muslim, or Hebrew Israelite?
Are you asking me? Okay. Well, I kind of want to answer your first question. That's what.
Okay, I
attracted me
got you.
to
I got
click.
you. I got you. I got you. That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. That's true. That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. All right, I'm gonna switch back to the original topic. That wasn't fair. You're right. You're right. Okay, so Agape, I appreciate you being up here. Do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God? Dom, why'd you drop out, Dom? Come back up, Dom. Dom, come back up. All right, so Agape, do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God?
In a God, there's many reasons to believe in a God because
Actually,
we
I'm sorry.
know
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry, Agape. Let me pause you real quick. Do you
Okay.
have any type of religious tradition?
Yes, I don't go by religion, but I'm spiritual. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ,
Okay, great.
Yeshua,
Great.
call him many names.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Do you
mhm.
can you give me a good reason to believe in that one?
In my God,
Mhm.
I would say there's so much history about him, longer than any other God. Um, Testimonials that have been in the Bible. It's the bestseller book in the world. Um, Let's see.
Okay, let's start with the.
Testimonials by far is the best one, I'd say, because there's testimonials in the Bible and also today. You know that the testimonies just continue.
Cool.
So,
Let's go with the first thing you said. When it comes to history, have you ever heard of Hinduism?
mhm.
Yeah. So you said that the history of Jesus, the historicity of Jesus, is longer than the history of other gods, but that is untrue. Hinduism is thousands of years older than Jesus.
Um, Jesus, I'd say, but his father, who is God Almighty, not so much.
Yeah, so
They
much
were
because
later.
Yahweh is something that came up in about I would say the comments could could correct me on this, but I think around maybe 2000 BCE is when the Israelites or the Canaanites first started worshiping Yahweh. But Hinduism is older than that. Like Brahma and Vishnu, they have a history going back to at least 5 to 6 thousand years ago, 5 to 6 thousand BCE. So they're about 2,000, 3,000 years older than the idea of Yahweh.
One good reason is the fact that our time is based off of BC, which is before Christ, you know?
That's not a
Um,
good reason because the only reason we have
I'd
that dating
say because nobody else says anything about Hinduism or BH or anything like that.
they actually do, and the India actually
Whereabouts?
has this. I'm about to explain. Over in other parts of the world, they actually have different dating systems. The reason why we use the dating system we have right now is because of colonialism.
There's more countries that use BC than H whatever they're doing.
Yeah, because
Like,
of colonialism.
no, because of his testimonials of that God.
Let me ask you a question. Which
Because of
continent? Let me ask you a
his
question.
name
Hold
is
on. Let me ask you a
everywhere
question.
more than his
Let me hold
name.
on. Listen to my question. Uh, which continent has been all over the world and had colonies all over the world?
I'm sorry, someone's desperately calling me, but I'm not answering them. It's annoying if you're hearing something.
Right.
Um, I wouldn't know that answer. All I
Europe.
know,
Europe. So the age of the
I
I
was
I
not
know.
good in
Hold,
history
hold,
class.
hold on, Gappa. We both learned about the age of discovery or the so-called age of discovery in high school, right? All of us learned about Christopher Columbus in high school. So Europe had colonies all over the world and they affected all over the world. They also spread their religion all over the world. And the religion that they had was Christianity. So their dating system was based off of that. But their dating system being based off of Christianity does not necessarily make Christianity true. Everyone just took on that dating system because it was easier. Number one, it was just a lot easier to coordinate because they were the center of trade. Europeans had the center of trade, and the largest economies on the planet were European. And not only that, the European, for example, the British Empire, the largest empire to ever exist, used that dating system. So that's why everyone else in the world used that dating system, literally because of the British and French empires, because those were the two large British, French, and Spanish. Those were the three largest empires in existence. You know what I mean? So that's why
I
we
can
had that dating system.
understand largest, but not ever. Not I would understand largest maybe, but not longest that's ever existed. You know,
No,
it
the
was
longest empire is probably the Roman Empire. That's probably the longest one that ever existed. But the British Empire is the largest in existence and the most influential, and they had that system. So the reason why everyone uses that dating system is literally because the British, the French, and the Spanish. That's why. It's not
Have
because
you been
it's
convinced to worship their God? Believe in their God? Because since they're so powerful and everything, would that be a
yeah.
good reason to
They're
worship their God?
I don't think you're tracking here. Their God is Christianity. You realize that, right? The British Empire was a Christian empire.
Okay, so what is your point?
Okay, so you said that the good reason to believe in a Jesus God is because of the dating system that we have. And I'm saying that the dating system that we have comes from the British, the French, and the Spanish. And they use that dating system because they were Christian empires. It's not because literally Sunday Christianity is true. It's because the largest modern empires in modern history were those, and that's the dating system that they use, so everyone else adopted it.
Okay, so I'm not saying my spiritual belief is true. What I'm trying to convince you of is your question is why you should believe in my God. And my answer is those facts.
Right, but what I'm saying is that the facts that you're bringing up are not really good reasons to believe in a God. There's not evidence that the God exists just because we use a certain dating system.
There's no reason for any God really to be existent for you. All gods, because you need tangible proof, I believe, right? It can't be a spiritual thing. But my thing for you is that because this lasted that long, testimonials for this particular spirituality, being a believer, is a reason because it stands out more than the others.
What stands out
Do you
more than the others?
understand?
Christianity. The reason why Christianity stands out more than any others is because, again, colonialism. The British, the Spanish, and the French were the
I
largest and most
wouldn't say
powerful empires in modern
colonialism.
history, and they were Christian.
Well,
So
I
yeah,
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that it was because of colonialism. I would say because of the testimonials and because they believed in that God. And because most people believed in that God, they just conquered another place and set colonialism. It doesn't matter if they won or not, is why they believed in that God. No, it matters what their beliefs are. And if more people believe in that way, that's an awesome reason
you
to
you
believe in
realize
God.
you realize when they conquered other areas, they forced people to convert to theirs, right?
No, they did not.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Okay, can you give me proof?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
All right. Let me push this over real quick. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see that, right? Forced conversion during colonization involved the coercive spread of Christianity through various acts such as violence, intimidation, and the suppression of indigenous cultures, languages, and practices. So, yeah, people were forced to convert.
Involved occurs in spread of Christianity through various tactics.
Yeah, so forced conversion to Christianity happened. It always happened. I'm surprised that you don't know about this. Like, we learned all this in high school.
I was not good in history again. And I don't remember them talking about that either. But
Yeah, your school probably didn't, but yeah, this was a thing. I'm actually really surprised that you're almost 40 and don't know
honestly,
that.
well, honestly, I don't call myself a Christian. I call myself a believer because I do understand that the name Christian was actually derogatory. Okay, in the Bible, they called people Christians kind of like how they call black people niggers, meaning black, but they were just followers of Christ rather.
No,
Okay,
the way that Christian is like mentioned in the Bible, it has nothing to do with insult. They're just like saying that they were first called Christian in Antioch. That's really the verse. There's nothing there that's insulting towards that group.
Jesus never called us Christians or the apostles.
Yeah, of course, Jesus didn't because he was dead. But like afterwards, when they started following this, when they
Even
started
during
following,
them calling us
right,
Christians was he when he
right.
was alive.
I got you. So even when no one was calling him Christian when he was alive, right? It happened a
They
few years
were.
after. Hold on, it happened a few years after he died. So when that happened, because they said they were first called Christians in Antioch, Jesus was not in Antioch. So after Jesus died, and then people started forming this new club or this new religion and everything or whatever, that's when they started calling them Christians, right? But it wasn't about insulting them or anything like that. That's just what the name was. But as far as what we're talking about, the reason why Christianity spread so much is literally because of forced conversion and colonialism. That's why it
Well,
spread.
yes, Christianity, which is a religion, I understand that part of it all because that they get consumeration off of it. One example is Christmas. A lot of pagans actually use Christianity for money and for gain purposes. So the real believers, which are the ecclesia church, the body of Christ, which is the body of Christ of Jesus.
I'm
The
I'm not
body of
I'm not
Jesus
I'm not sure what it has
spiritually.
I'm not sure what it has to do with anything.
They're not really okay, yeah. I can't explain that because it's a spiritual situation, but church is not really what they have made it to be. It's more of a consumer situation. So I understand how they would colonize using Christianity, which is the religion, for gain. But the central the foundation of Jesus Christ still lives on in people's hearts through testimonials. And that's the best reason I could give you would be the testimonies because it dates all the way back for thousands of years and continues to keep growing.
So
He has more testimonies on YouTube than any other God.
right, because Christianity is the most popular religion. That doesn't make it true. That's an argument of ad populum, isn't it? Because if we're living thousands
Well,
of years
it's not.
ago, if we're living thousands of years ago in ancient Greece, you could say something about Zeus. There's a lot of testimonies about him, but that doesn't make Zeus real. Like a lot of people having
Okay.
testimony doesn't. A lot of people having testimony towards a supernatural agent doesn't actually make the supernatural agent real. Like Christian
I,
belief in the
if
belief
you
of
would,
Jesus as the Lord and personal Savior, as the Son of God, that's simply the most popular religious belief. That doesn't make it true, just because a lot of people have testimony about it.
it doesn't make it true, but my reason for you to believe is because if you were to listen to the testimonials, you'll find out that he's true based off of their manifestations that they've had encounter with him. Um,
I was a Christian until I was 27.
they are harmonized. They're all harmonized. Um,
They're not, but agape. I was a Christian until I was 27. So I've heard all
have
this
you
before.
listened to testimonials
I was a
recently?
Christian until I was 27.
How old are you now?
I'm 37.
Have you listened to testimonials recently?
Yeah, none of it's convincing.
All right. Well, I've let you know why you should believe in my God. So good luck. God's blessings. Jesus bless you very much.
Alrighty. All right, guys. I appreciate you all being up here. You guys are wonderful. Keep liking the live. Keep sharing. Keep liking the live. Keep sharing. Yo, I said let's get to 15K, y'all. I still see that we're at 15K yet. So let's go ahead and get to 15K. What's up, Virtue? It's good to see you again. I appreciate you being here, Virtue. You are a wonderful subscriber to hear. Everyone, blessed to hear with some likes, please, and follow to hear. She is awesome. I appreciate you being here as well to hear. All right. We have Mr. Funky Monkey. Funky, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I am 22 years old and I am a Christian.
All right. What's a good reason for me to believe in that one?
Well, I personally think that the biggest reason that like Christianity was such a powerful religion and it's like one of the biggest religions is because like the level of martyrdom that early Christians faced and like the amount of like eyewitnesses and testimony behind it. So I want to know. And you mentioned that you were a Christian until you were 27. So I'm
Correct.
also curious as to why you decided to. Are you an atheist now, or are you just like agnostic?
I'm an atheist.
Okay, I'm curious to why you decided to switch to atheism. If you don't mind, if that's like a personal question, then
It's not. Yeah, it's fine. I had no good reason to believe in any faith claims, basically, and not only that, it was unnecessary for me to live a good life. It took a long time. It took years. I think I started having doubts around the age of probably 23 or 24. Matter of fact, even earlier than that, probably like around 21, I started having doubts, and then I stopped believing around 27, 28. Yeah, I mean, so it it took a time for it to happen, right? It took almost 7, 8 years. So essentially, I had to go by to see if there's actually any evidence to see if this is actually true, and I couldn't come up with any good evidence that it is actually true. And the fact that I figured out that I can actually live a good, clean, righteous life without believing in it, right? And have a moral standard. So if it's not necessary for me to be a good, moral, upstanding person and have a good, moral, productive life, there's also no reason for me. There's also no reason for me to believe that it's true. Then I don't need it. Like the same way that you don't depend on Santa Claus to be a good person is the same way I don't need to depend on Christianity to be a good person.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Um, yeah, so I guess the question that kind of like begs the question though, like what kind of evidence would you expect to be provided that could prove the existence of a god or like a specific religion? Like what kind of evidence were you like kind of looking for in that stage in your life?
Something demonstrable, testable, repeatable, or completely undeniable. And when I say completely undeniable, I actually can explain what I mean by that if you want me to.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
All right. So completely undeniable. You know about Paul and the Road to Damascus experience, right?
No, so where I'm at right now is I'm like kind of a new I was like a cradle Catholic, and then I kind of became like agnostic and non-religious, and then more recently I decided to start getting back into it. So I've only read through the Old Testament so far, so all the New Testament stuff I haven't gone to yet, but I've learned it when I was a kid, so I know like the gist, but I don't know like the specific like
Okay, gotcha.
Book of Paul or whatever.
Gotcha. Excuse me for 1 second. Hey, Sticks, I keep inviting you up because I'm going to explain that, right? But I'm not gonna. I'm talking to somebody else right now, so I'm not gonna interrupt my conversation because you keep asking the same stupid question over and over. Just come on up, and then I'll explain that when you're up here. All right. So, Funky, the Road to Damascus experience was essentially when Paul, when Paul was Saul, right? He was going to Damascus to persecute more Christians, and then Jesus appeared to him in the sky and said, "Why are you persecuting me?" Etc. Etc. Right? So that's the Road to Damascus experience essentially, where Paul had a vision of Jesus in the sky and in his language because Paul spoke Koine Greek. He didn't speak Aramaic, and Jesus spoke Aramaic. You see what I'm saying? And Paul heard it in his own language. So
But this was after the death of Jesus, right?
this is after the death of Jesus. Yes.
Yeah.
So something like I said before, evidence would be something something that's demonstratable, repeatable, testable, etc., or something undeniable. And when I say undeniable, I say give every single person on this planet, all 7 billion of us, at the same time, in our own language, the Road to Damascus experience. Give that to everybody. Not one person does not see the Road to Damascus experience, right? So that means me sitting here, you sitting where you're sitting, someone named Zhao sitting over in Hong Kong, all of us at the same time have that same vision in our own language, and everyone survives, meaning planes in the sky, subs in the ocean. All of us have that, right? If that were to happen, it is undeniable because there will be no reason why myself, why Zhao over in Hong Kong, while Takana over in Tokyo, while some kid in Uzbekistan, there will be no reason why all of us have that same exact vision. That'll be impossible to happen. All 7 billion of us, and everyone survives. That's impossible. Not only is it impossible, is no reason for all of us to have that same exact one. So that would be undeniable. If something like that were to happen, then I would say, yeah, that one's true.
Okay. So you're saying like since or if there is like a creator or someone like Jesus or God existed, then why don't they just give everyone a vision at some point in their lives saying, "Hey, I'm real, make sure you follow me." That's what you're saying?
Yeah, and not just at some point in their lives. I'm talking about everyone receiving it at the same exact time.
Okay. Um yeah, I see where you're coming from. My I guess kind of counter argument to that would be kind of goes into the philosophy behind like Christianity and specifically God's philosophy in both the Old Testament from what I understand is that the whole reason he created humanity was so we could freely worship him on our own volition and our own like free will, right? So if he were to reveal himself to us, that's essentially him stripping us of our own free will by forcing us to basically see that, hey, I am existent and therefore you must follow me. That's not what he wants. He wants us to do it on our own volition. So if he were to do something like that, he would be essentially stripping us of what we are as humans and what he intended for our creation.
Hmm.
And in terms of like historical evidence, since I guess both the Christian religion and the predating like I guess Jewish religion happened so long ago, it's really difficult to like provide historical verification of the events that transpired. I mean, there are definitely like manuscripts and like letters that confirm. Like, I'm sure historians don't doubt the existence of Jesus, but like what actually happened, we can only go off of like the sentiment at the time. And that's why I find the martyrdom of the witnesses such a powerful example because not only were there so many people who died proclaiming Jesus not rose from the dead, but they also were tortured alive, skinned alive, boiled alive. And I don't see that happening. And I can't find another religion that had a martyrdom of that scale. And I couldn't see something like that happening based on like mass hysteria or a plot to overthrow like the Roman the Romans or the Pharisees or whatever. So that's kind of where I find that to be the most powerful example um, of Christianity.
Okay.
I don't know what your thoughts on that.
Okay. So when it comes to the first thing that you said, I just had it. Oh, free will. Um, I disagree with that because even if I know something exists, doesn't mean that I have to follow it, right? I have to worship it. As a matter of fact, we see that in the Bible itself. There are plenty of biblical stories where the people like God will actually even show Himself to these people, but like they still don't follow Him. So even if we were all to have that same vision at the same time, or if God would just show up in the sky and say, "Hey guys, here I am, I'm Yahweh," and write it on the moon, like we still don't need to worship Him, right? That's not necessarily true. So it doesn't give away our free will. We just know that He exists, but we don't need to worship Him. Our free will still be intact. But the second thing I would say when it comes to historical things, people die for what they believe all the time. Like martyrdom doesn't really say anything to me because the Mormons martyred themselves, right? The Mormons actually wrote down that we saw these miracles that Joseph Smith made, that Joseph Smith supposedly did, and they died believing that. It doesn't mean does that mean that Joseph Smith was divine now? It doesn't. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
People hold on, let me just finish. Yeah,
no, yeah, sure.
people can believe in things, right? And they can die for those beliefs. Now, the important part that we need to recognize is that it doesn't mean those beliefs are true. It doesn't mean they're true. Yeah, they believed it. They truly believed it. They were skinned alive for it. And a lot of people might have died for it. That doesn't make it true. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's what we need to contend with. We don't need to contend with the fact that, people died for it. We need to contend with the fact of what shows that it's actually real. Even if a lot of people die, even if more people died in Christianity than the martyrdom of all the other religions, irrelevant. That doesn't make Christianity true.
Okay. To your first point, him showing himself to people, I guess maybe I should have said like not taking away free will, but it kind of like contradicts his own philosophy, being that he kind of expects us to do it of our own volition. I think that was kind of a better way to put it. But yeah, to the people, he's definitely done like shown himself to other people. Of course, it wasn't his like true form, obviously, but it was like in certain visions and stuff. And he even, sent himself in a way um, to Earth as Jesus, or like, I guess that's like another example. But that was just kind of like in reference of like the shared vision. If he were to like reveal himself in a vision, then that would be kind of different. He doesn't want us to do it based on knowledge. He wants us to do it based on, faith and understanding of his like condition. But and the second thing, I guess I just have to disagree with like comparing the Mormons to the early Christian martyrs, because I do think scale is actually an important factor here, because a lot of the Mormons specifically, I mean, I'm not too familiar with how they martyred themselves. Did they just get like arrested, or were they executed? Like, how'd they martyr themselves?
Look up something called Mormon Wars. They went to war with the United States government over this.
Oh, so they fought a war. They didn't.
They fought a war with the United States government over this. Yeah, and yeah, no,
Oh yeah, for sure.
people were martyred. Like Joseph Smith, he was a martyr basically for the movement. He was
Right, but
killed
he
in the
was getting
courthouse.
something. He was getting something from that religion. Like he was getting like money and influence. Like he had a there was a whereas people who
Yeah,
died
yeah,
for
exactly. He
Christianity
was
got nothing.
yeah, he was because Joseph Smith was a womanizer. Yeah, he was getting some hoes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, sure,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
happened. But like what I'm saying is that still, even if the martyrs of early Christianity didn't receive anything, that still doesn't mean that it's true.
Well, I guess the point I was trying to make with that is like Joseph Smith obviously would have martyred himself because he had stuff to gain, whereas those who were witnesses to Jesus' resurrection, like the patient zero, I guess, um, died in horrific ways. And again, they could have never expected anything to come from it, because they knew what would happen if they proclaimed it to be so. Yet,
They still did it. Yeah,
regardless, they still did it.
people die for things that they believe all the time. That doesn't make the actual belief true.
But the comparison I'm drawing is them and Joseph Smith himself, whereas the people who are martyring other than Joseph Smith weren't actually there to witness any of the miracles. They were just going off of what Joseph Smith had said. Whereas the people who martyred for himself in Christianity had actually seen the miracles Jesus did himself and saw his resurrection.
So are
So
the
that's
people
kind of
who died for
drawing the
Joseph
difference.
Smith, they say that they saw him perform miracles.
There was only like 3 people who saw the angel or whatever, wasn't it? Or it was like 3 or 4 people.
In the Book of Mormon, like it actually begins with 12 people who said that they saw Joseph Smith perform miracles, like, and they have like signed
And all of
statements.
them martyred themselves, or they died in the war?
All of them died. Yeah, they're all dead
Wait,
now.
in a
So
war or martyred? Well, yeah, yes.
a few of them, a few of them died in the war. One of them got martyred with Joseph Smith himself, and a few others kind of like died of old age and stuff like that. But
Okay.
yeah, they Mormon, like the Mormon religion went to war against the United States government. This is how much they believed in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
but
they went to war
again,
with
they had
the
something. They
what
were trying to. Since them
they were
going to
trying
war
to
kind of shows they were trying to gain something.
they were trying to have their own nation basically. Back during
Exactly.
back during that time, America didn't wasn't really controlling out west like that. You remember the Wild West? That's why it was
Yeah,
called
yeah,
the
yeah.
Wild West, because there was really no control over there. So what the Mormons did, they said, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and settle out west and create our own little country because no one is administering this part. The United States government didn't like that. They were like, no, we want to administer this part. You can't. And they're like, why not? This is open free land. We're just here chilling. Leave us alone, basically. And the United States government said, no, we want to control this land, and that's why they went to war.
But doesn't that just kind of strengthen my argument? Because if
No,
that proves they had something to gain from that, whereas the Christian martyrs
irrelevant.
had
That's what I'm
nothing to gain.
saying. What I'm saying is that
That is relevant.
it
That
is
is
not. Hold
extremely
on, it's
relevant.
not. It's not. If I were to believe that there's a blue dragon in my garage, right? If I were to believe that, truly believe there's a blue dragon in my garage, and that blue
Yes.
dragon wanted me to shoot an AK-47 in the sky every Friday, I'm gonna get the police called on me, right? So if one night on that Friday where I'm gonna go shoot my AK-47 into the sky, and the police say put your weapon down, and I shoot into the sky anyway, and they shoot me and I died for nothing. But I still truly believe that there's a blue dragon in my garage, right? The belief isn't true, and I still died for nothing. I still gained nothing. Are you gonna say that because I gained nothing and I died for nothing, the blue dragon is real? You wouldn't say that. So people saying so you pointing out that they passed away without gaining anything, and others passed away when they could have gained something is irrelevant. People die for the beliefs that are untrue all the time, whether they're gonna gain something or not.
Right, but what I'm saying is that the Mormons had something to gain. So like you say you see the blue dragon in your garage, right? Well,
Right,
let's say
but
the
hold
blue
on.
dragon says, if you go
But
out and
but
start
but
shooting at the sky,
but
I'll give you all this land.
what if you said just
Then
start?
maybe you do it.
What if you said start shooting in the sky because I'm the one true God and I did it? What I'm
Well,
trying
then
to
that
point
would
out
be a
to you,
martyrdom.
what I'm trying to point out to you is that whether or not someone has something to gain by being martyred is irrelevant because it
That
doesn't
no,
make
I'm
it.
disagreeing
What I'm
because it
saying
is
is
extremely relevant.
what I'm saying is it doesn't make the belief true.
Okay, well, I'm not saying it's going to make the belief true, but I'm saying there is a significance to people having something to gain from their belief and people who know for a fact they're going to face death. Because let's say that Joseph Smith and his 12, his gang of 12 were like, let's just assume for a second that it wasn't all fake and a plot, which I personally believe that is the case. Then them saying, okay, we had this angel appear and give us these tablets, we should go to war so that we can secure this land. Like that is
That's
an
not what they
explicit
wanted to
thing that
do, bro. That's not what they wanted
that's
to
what isn't
do.
that what you isn't that what you said? They
No,
just
they went out west because there was nothing out there, and they said that we wanted to settle this land to practice our religion away from persecution because the early Mormons were being persecuted. They were trying to escape persecution. They didn't have anything to really gain. They just went out west to live their best life because they're trying to escape. And I'm not a Mormon. I criticize Mormonism all the time, especially because of the history of racism. But they went out west in order to escape persecution. They didn't go out west because they wanted to make a new powerful nation to rival America. That's not what they went out west for. They went out
so
west
then why
to.
were they so they were pursued out west
They were
because they
pursued out
were
west. They wanted to escape persecution, but America wanted to control the western frontier. That's why they end up getting in conflict with them. You see what I'm saying? Like what I'm trying
okay.
to point out to
I
you.
misunderstood what you said earlier. That's my
Yeah.
mistake.
So what I'm trying to point out to you is whether they would gain something or not gain something from the belief, whether they would gain something or not gain something from the martyrdom, it doesn't mean that the belief that they died for is true. Whether they
I know,
weren't going to
I'm
gain
not
something or
saying
not.
that. I'm not saying that innately proves it, but I am saying that there is. I am going to disagree with you that let's say that I am a martyr, right? For let's say Joseph Smith. If he told me that, like, hey, I saw all these miracles, and I don't want to get hung up on this point, like, I'm sorry, but if I saw all these miracles and we're going to move out to a different land and we're going to have our own society and you're welcome to as a rank in the society, then yeah, I might be swayed by the fact that there might be riches in that society for me. But if you compare yourself to a Christian back during that time and say, hey, you are probably going to be executed, your savior just got crucified, you're probably going to be executed and tortured for being a Christian. And then I say, regardless, I saw this man get resurrected from the dead, and knowing for a fact there is nothing to sway me or any material um, possession or benefit from this, then obviously that is a huge significance because then it kind of gives more credibility to the people who don't have any like material benefit from believing that. Does that make sense? Or I'm kind of not really good at explaining stuff.
No, it makes sense what you're saying. I'm still saying it doesn't give it any credibility at all. So what?
Okay, I think we're just gonna fundamentally disagree on that then. But I do want to say that
Can I point something
I
out?
don't think it ought to.
Can I point something
Yeah,
out
go
to you?
ahead.
Have you ever heard of Heaven's Gate?
Like the gate that
No,
goes into heaven.
Heaven's Gate, the cult.
No, I haven't. I don't have the cold.
Okay,
Never.
so they were the people who believed that Halley's Comet was an alien ship that was gonna take them to another planet. So they all ate poison applesauce and died at the same time. It was the second mass suicide in American history after Jim Jones,
Oh, right.
right? So
Yeah.
in Heaven's Gate, the leaders convinced their followers that gender is not going to be a thing where they're going anymore. So these men would castrate themselves. The women would chemically castrate themselves by removing their fallopian tubes and ovaries and everything like that. So they were completely genderless, right? So they lost things, right? Things something that's very important to a lot of people's humanity, which is their genitals. They completely lost their genitals in order to be part of this organization, and then they committed mass suicide. So according to the logic that you're employing here to me, Heaven's Gate cult has credibility because people were literally lose more than the early Christians had. Is Heaven's Gate credible?
Well, I wouldn't say they had more to lose, but I will say it would make them more credible than Mormons.
Heaven's Gate, the cult that thought that Halley's Comet was an alien ship going to bring them to another galaxy, is more credible than the Mormons.
Again, I'm not too familiar, but if they had nothing to gain from that, and Mormons had land and riches to gain from that, then yeah, that would make them more credible. But I
The
don't think they'd be
Mormons
more
did
credible.
not have land and riches to gain from anything. People were converting to Mormonism before they went out west.
Well, Joseph Smith was gaining stuff from it.
Yeah, but not his followers.
You don't think his followers were getting any of that?
No.
They obviously were.
These niggas was
No,
broke, bro.
I disagree with that.
These motherfuckers were broke, bro. The Mormons didn't have shit to gain from
Well, even
following
if
Joseph
they were
Smith.
broke, they were trying to get stuff.
No, they
Dude,
weren't.
Yeah, they were.
No, they were not. Mormonism was extremely unpopular in early America. They were getting persecuted.
I'll
That's
concede.
why they went out west. They had
I'll
nothing to
concede 'cause
gain
I'm
from
not
this.
too familiar with Mormonism or the other thing, but I will say that as a basis, right, for the discussion, because I do want to like go somewhere after. If you have martyrdom in the name of trying to get a material benefit, and you have martyrdom with no material benefit, then I would say it would make it more credible. Of course, you have things like insanity and like hysteria. So, what makes Christianity different from those, right? Because based on martyrdom alone, yeah, they could be perceived as equal, but based on Christianity's expansion and the prophetical fulfillment that Jesus had on the religion, that combined with the martyrdom, I think makes it like a more significant religion.
There's
But
no
yeah,
there's no like material gain or not doesn't make anything any more credible, bro. That's what I'm saying. Because it does, like, even if whether you have material gain or whether you don't have material gain, it doesn't show that what you actually believe is true. That's the first thing. But the second
I'm
thing,
not saying it makes it automatically true. I'm just saying that's a factor that can play into it.
it doesn't, bro. It doesn't make it credible. What makes things
does.
credible is actual evidence. Saying that I don't gain material anything material from believing this. So what? You don't get anything material from believing it, but why should I believe it? It doesn't make it any more credible. There's no material gain in Buddhism. In Buddhism, you're supposed to give away your material gain. People still believe it. Does that make Buddhism credible?
Well, that's why I'm saying it's not just the martyrdom; it's the martyrdom combined with the prophetical fulfillment that Jesus had on the
What
world.
prophetical fulfillment?
He was able to spread the religion to the world, which was what the Messiah was prophesied to do.
Islam was spread to the world.
Yeah, like centuries after Jesus had already done it, and Christianity is still significantly more popular than
No,
Islam.
like Christianity wasn't all over the world when Islam came about. It was in Europe.
Well, yeah, obviously it wasn't all over the world, but I'm saying eventually it does become the universal religion.
Yeah, because of
or the most popular religion.
because of colonialism. The reason my ancestors became
Well, it doesn't
Christian
matter
is
how
no. It matters how. It matters how. Because the only reason that my ancestors are Christian is because they got enslaved.
That's not true at all.
I'm Haitian, bro.
Okay, I don't know this, but okay, if you're Haitian, then I don't know. But if you're talking about slavery, but if you're talking about Christianity in Africa specifically, then Christianity was in Africa before European colonization.
What part of Africa?
I believe it was Ethiopia, Egypt, some other countries like that.
What part do I descend from?
I don't know where Haiti is on that.
Central and Western Africa. That's the slave trade, right?
Sure, yeah. Sub-Saharan Africa.
So saying Christianity was in Africa is irrelevant because
Right, but
it wasn't.
it's probably
You
spread
realize
first.
Africa is a continent, right?
Yeah, I know. Yes.
All
I'm
right.
aware.
So it being in Ethiopia has nothing to do with my ancestors because my ancestors are from Western and Central Africa. My ancestors are from the Congo or from the Ashanti Kingdom. They had nothing to do with Ethiopia, so it's irrelevant.
Well, even if it was because of colonial, and again, I don't know, I'm not good with maps, but even if it was from colonialism, it doesn't matter. It still fulfilled the prophecy that Christianity was going to spread.
That's not a prophecy. All religion spread, bro. Like if it's a prophecy that this religion is going to spread, then I'm also making a prophecy right now. There's going to be a hurricane in Florida in 15 years. That I have a prophecy that I just prophesied.
Not every religion is going to spread. That's not true at all.
Yeah. All that's the nature of religions, bro. They all spread.
No, I mean, we just talked about Mormonism. Mormonism didn't leave America.
Yeah, it did. There's Mormons in Haiti.
Okay, well then obviously there's going to be like niche groups, but you know what I'm saying? Like on the scale of Christianity and Islam.
Yeah, I mean, like I would put Mormonism under Christianity anyway. But when I'm talking about like
Well, Mormons
when-
definitionally aren't Christian.
when you talk about, well, that's argumentative. You talk to Mormons about that. But when it comes to
Sure.
when it comes to what I was gonna say, the spread, right? It spread because of colonialism. Are you saying that Jesus like he prophesies that there will be like horrid slavery from our people in order to become like that's kind of gross.
Let
Like
me chew on
scale,
that for a second.
are you sure that scale is what determines the truth? Just because a lot of people believe it, that makes it true. It's kind of
No,
silly.
I
isn't
don't
it?
think that inherently makes it true. I'm saying it's a combination of like the martyrdom and the spread and the historical sentiment.
But you're not really taking any a lot of context into this. You're just saying that that because people got martyred and because it spread a lot, therefore that makes it a little bit more credible. But it spread through like horrific means, and people being martyred doesn't mean that anything is.
Do you think that Christianity is like doctrine wise supports or I guess not colonialism specifically, but the slavery and forced conversion?
Yeah, it's in Leviticus that you can own slaves.
Well, no, I'm not talking about Old Testament. I'm talking about New Testament because
And
Old Testament's
then
different, right?
in the New Testament, it says that slaves should obey their masters, so it condones it there.
And what part is that? Again, I haven't read New Testament, so I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's a verse from Paul. Give me a second.
Oh yeah, it's probably from Paul.
Yeah, Ephesians. It's in Ephesians. Slave, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. So Ephesians 6. I'm not sure if it's Paul that wrote that, or this is one of the letters that they said that might be faked from Paul. Because there are books in the Bible that are attributed to Paul, but historians basically know that Paul didn't write it. All right, so Funky, we're at 30 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and have to speak to someone else now, but I do appreciate you being up and the conversation. All right.
Nope. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. All right, y'all. I do appreciate everybody being here, y'all. Let's get me to 15K likes, y'all. Hold on. What is up with that, y'all? What is up with that, y'all? We at 12K. Get me to 15K likes, please. Libra Unchained, I appreciate you being here. Chris, I appreciate you as well. Pierre, I appreciate you as well. Who else is here? Tahir, I appreciate you being here still. You guys are amazing. Hey, what's going on, T-Da? Daniel, stay away from that girl, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You and I both know what I'm talking about, but stay away from that girl. All right, so we're gonna move on to Alpha. Alpha, you were here, and then Dom, I'm gonna get you right after Alpha. All right, welcome back, Dom. Alpha, are you at least 18, and do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I want to ask you something before maybe I continue.
Answer my question first. Are you at least 18, and do you think you can give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I think I can.
Okay, cool. What's that reason?
First of all, faith. We say a reason to believe. First of all, we don't want to appreciate the fact that when we talk of the concept of faith, we are talking of something that sometimes has, how can I put it? It's unreasonable to the human mind most of the time. Do you agree with me?
Faith being unreasonable? Yes, I agree that faith is seems unreasonable.
Yes. Because right now, I believe in God. And I'll tell you now that I believe in the God of Israel.
Okay, cool. So
He is
Alpha,
the same
what's
God
what's the
that we
reason?
are
What's the good
believers.
reason you think you can give me to believe in a God? What's the reason?
Because I know him. I'm going to say that I know him.
Okay, you know him. All right, cool.
I've seen
So
his works.
pray to him
I've
and
seen.
ask him what would convince me that he exists.
Let's get to faith first.
Sure. All right. So
Then I'll
faith
get to
is
belief.
unreliable because we know a whole bunch of ancient cultures that had faith and what they believed and on their faith was untrue. So faith is unreliable, right? So why would this all-powerful God tell us to rely on something that we know is unreliable?
Faith is very reliable.
Okay.
Very
If
reliable.
faith
Let's
is
forget
very
that Ghana
reliable,
we are.
yeah, if faith is very reliable, why were all the ancient traditions wrong in their faith in their gods?
You can say they were wrong. The question is, give me a reason to believe in my God. My God is the God of Israel. They have others have the God Allah, others have Buddha. So my God is the God of Israel. That is the God that I'm going to stand for, that I'm going to try to explain to you that I believe in him. And before all that, there is a concept of faith that I need to believe in something that sometimes I have not even seen. You get me? But I have to believe in that because that faith is the one that's going to convince me. I'm convinced by faith because faith has to do with the spiritual, not the physical. Right now we have thinking using a mind. My faith is God created me. He created me. He created the heavens. He created the earth. He created everything that is in the earth. So I'm thinking now that this very mind that I'm using to talk to you and the mouth that I'm using to talk to you, they were created by God. If God
Okay.
is higher than my mind,
Okay,
mm,
that's very
if
that's very
God is
wonderful.
higher than my mind,
I
I'm not
understand. Hold on,
considering
wait,
that.
hold on. I understand that that's what you believe. What I'm asking you is why should I also agree with that and believe that? Because like I have no evidence of what you're saying is actually true. How do you know that God created your mind, God created your lips? How you know any of that? Because is there's all just stuff said in a book. Why should I agree with it, or how do I know any of it is true? How do you know any of it is true?
For you, unfortunately for you, faith, we are going to be in the same. We need to be in the same steps for you to be able to understand me. Now, let me get to your question that you said I should try to convince you to believe in God. First of all, I believe that Christianity, or rather the faith in God of Israel, is based fundamentally on Israel and the culture of Israel. So if you take that from the very first time, from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and you study that from that time, you'll get a better idea of who God is.
Okay.
Concerning
All right. All
my
right.
God,
So
Jesus
I know
Christ,
that we know that these places historically existed, right? Ancient Israel, King David, Solomon, those are probably real guys. Cool. How does that show me that the God that you believe in is actually real? Because these were ancient guys, right? And I understand that they believed in Yahweh, the storm deity. All good and well. How do we know that Yahweh is an actual real God that created everything? What is the evidence behind that?
there's a scripture that says in the Bible that the glory of God has filled the earth. And from that, I can interpret it and say,
All right. I appreciate everybody being here. Let's go ahead and get to get me to 15K. Tap that like that screen. We're at 13K now. Tap. We're gonna go ahead and move on because I'm not wasting any more time. Go ahead and keep tapping that screen, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. You guys are wonderful. We will go ahead and we're going ahead and keep keeping this up. Just a quick shout out to Tahir. Shout out to anyone who's watching me on YouTube and Facebook. If you are wonderful. Please follow me. Please like, please spread. I like to have these discussions, and I want to have more of these discussions. And I appreciate you all being here and joining me. Shout out to the Discord, all right, and shout out to Tahir for being an amazing mod. Dom, it is your time to shine. Are you at least 18, and do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah. And real quick, before I give you my reason, I just had a question about your situation. Like, what exactly made you like separate yourself from Christianity?
I had no reason to believe that is true. A lot of it is apparently not true, and it's unnecessary for anything.
All right. Can you like elaborate on a little more, like what in specific made you think that?
And specifically, what made me think that is that I actually went on a deconstruction journey. I actually went to check to see if I actually had any good reason or evidence to believe that this is true, and it came up empty. A lot of the stories in the Bible have literally zero evidence behind them. Same thing with Christianity. I appreciate that. Same thing with the Jesus rising from the dead. It's just basically a story. There's not a lot of evidence that it's actually true. Adam and Eve has zero evidence. Noah's Ark has zero evidence. Tower Babel has zero evidence. None of these stories have evidence, right? However, the historical places that they do mention, like ancient Egypt, ancient Judah, even some of those characters like Samuel, Balaam, Jephthah, Daniel, etc., these were likely real people, right? But how do we actually show that the supernatural things that happen around them are true? There's no way to do that. There's no way to do that. So should we actually believe that the supernatural is actually real and true? There's no reason to do that either, right? So there's no evidence that that it is actually true. A lot of it is apparently not true, such as Noah's Ark, such as Adam and Eve. And I had to ask myself, if I do not believe this anymore, will I be going out hurting people or living a unclean, unrighteous life? The answer is no. I don't want to go out hurting people. I don't want to go out doing drugs. I don't want to be promiscuous. They're sleeping with a whole bunch of women out there. That sounds fun in my early 20s, but it's not fun to me as I'm getting older, right? So it doesn't mean any of this. So that means that I can live a good moral life without believing in it. So it's unnecessary for me to believe. A lot of it is has no evidence that it's true. A lot of it is apparently not true. So why believe it? And that's why I
When you
stopped
say
believing.
there's no evidence, are you going just strictly based off scientific or from people's claims that they've been making or testimonies?
Testimonies are not evidence; they're hearsay.
So you're saying somebody that has a personal experience and telling you what they've encountered is not a piece of evidence?
No, that's hearsay. Because guess what? Guess what I can do? I can tell you I had a personal encounter with the god Shango, the African god of the sky. Are you going to believe Shango?
No.
Exactly.
Well, let me see. So another question that I had was, is like in your family like Christian at all, or did you grow up in a church?
Yep.
And do they still believe?
Yep.
And another one, you yourself, would you rather die, knowing that, you're saved, or, go your whole life, dedicating your life to Christianity, and then it turns out to be, nothing, or dedicate your whole life and then, have that chance still?
I have no reason to believe that that's actually an option.
So you don't believe in any afterlife?
No.
You don't believe in any God?
No. All right, we're about 5 minutes, and you spent like most of your time just asking me questions, and I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna do this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer over. Bro, what the hell? So he left? Yo, and instead of, I was gonna actually start the timer over, bro. I was gonna start the timer over just so we can speak more. I was gonna start the timer over just for us to speak more, since he wasted his entire 15 minutes on this. We were at 5 minutes left, and I said I'm gonna start the timer over so we can actually talk about this, actually have the discussion instead of you asking me questions. And instead of staying, the nigga left. This is hilarious. All right, brother Jeff, how's it going, sir? Are you at least 18, and do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I'm above 18. I think you are my age mate, just by looking at you.
I have no idea what you just said,
Can
bro.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So do you think you could give me a good reason to believe in a God?
I'm saying yes, 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 yes. I can.
All right, sure. Try to go ahead and give me those
Yes.
reasons. Everything all right over there,
Oh
bro?
yeah.
Yeah. You good?
First of all, first of all, I wanted to find out if you believe there is no God, or you don't just want to believe in God.
Like I said, I have no good reason to believe it.
I mean, do you believe that there is no God, or you know there is God, but you don't want to believe in Him? That's what I want to know, so that I make my argument clear to you.
I don't believe in any gods.
I don't want to listen. Oh. What makes you think that God doesn't exist?
No evidence.
What kind of evidence do you want?
Something that's repeatable, demonstrable, testable, or undeniable.
Okay. Do you know why okay, but we can read the Bible here. Can you allow me to read the Bible and then refer it to what is happening?
No, the Bible is claims, not evidence. So I don't want to hear.
What I have.
Right. Hold on. Listen. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear another Bible verse, because the Bible is just claims, not evidence. You can pull out some vague verse. It wouldn't mean anything to me, because it's just a claim of a God existing. It's not evidence of a God existing. So unless you actually have any type of evidence, like how I said, testable, repeatable, or undeniable or demonstrable, there's really nothing you can show. Do you have any of that? If you don't have any of that, then we can discuss any other reasons that you have. That's all fine, good and well. I could go down that path, but a Bible verse is not gonna do anything, bro. I already don't believe it. So what's the point of a Bible verse?
Okay, the terms BC, AD, BCE means what? Have you ever come across of such things?
Yeah. So BCE means before Common Era, and we also have ACE, which means after Common Era. Now, of course, there's BC, which means before Christ, and AD means Anno Domini. I think that means like after death. Yeah, those were calendars, right? So those calendars, those calendar dates, or those ways of marking time, don't really show that a God exists. It just shows that colonialism was very, very effective, because those dating systems became worldwide after colonialism.
After death of who? AD.
Did you listen to anything that I said?
I did, but you mentioned also after death. Now I'm saying after death of who?
Bro, listen to what I'm saying. This is not a point that you think you're making. I'm trying to tell you that the reason we have that calendar system is because of colonialism. It does not make it true. So asking me, oh, after the death of who, is irrelevant. It does not make it true just because we mark our calendar that way. The calendar is the way that it is because of colonialism. Ancient Africans
The reason
used
why I'm
to
saying what I'm
ancient
saying,
Africans used to mark their calendar by the moon. The only reason that we don't do that anymore is because of colonialism. That's it. So asking me what does AD mean? If someone actually pointed out that it means in the year of our Lord, not after death, in the year of our Lord. So yeah, the Lord that they're talking about is Jesus. Agreed. What does that tell us though? That doesn't tell us that it's true. That just tells us that colonialism did a very good job. That's all it tells us.
no. Colonialism or scramble for Africa came much later. Much later.
Yes, I understand
But
that colonialism came much
starting
later
from
to Jesus existing, right?
yes, after death of Christ, which is AD.
Right. I
Now,
understand. Look, hold on.
the
Listen.
point which I'm trying to make is
Listen.
this.
I understand that. I understand that, right? But what I'm saying is that just because we have the calendar that we have, it does not make the claim of Jesus being a God true. You understand that, right?
But it is in line with the scripture.
No, it's not.
It is in line with the scripture.
Where in the scripture does it say that we're gonna have a dating calendar based off his birthday? It doesn't say that. The Bible doesn't say that at all. There's nowhere in the Bible where it says that. Hold on. Listen. There is nowhere in the Bible where it prophesies that the world is gonna have a new dating system based off of Christ's birth. It doesn't say that anywhere. So it doesn't align with anything in the Bible. Hey, Kay, how's it going, Kay? All right. I'm not going to go ahead and waste any more time. Hey, I appreciate you guys being up. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Legendary Popcorn. This is a good live, y'all. Let's keep it moving. Let's try this to get us to 25K. I love everybody here. You guys are amazing. Let's get this to 25K. All right. We have Legendary Popcorn here. Legendary, how's it going? Are you at least 18? Are you at least 18? And
46.
Okay. And do you think you give me a good reason to come on you give me a good reason to believe in a God?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. Which God and why?
So, God, as in that's referred into the Bible. I think it's it may not be exactly the way it's described in the Bible. However, I used to think like you. I used to have these arguments that you have, and then I had an issue. It was kind of like a mental epiphany where I kind of it was almost like I was putting myself mentally in the final hours of my life, and I thought long and hard about it, and I still do today, and that has pushed me towards believing tremendously, and so here recently I bought Bibles and stuff, and I'm reading the Bibles, and I think everybody who goes through life, you go through things day to day, but towards the end of your life, there's nothing to look forward to the next day or the day after, and you know everything's going to end. If you don't believe in something or don't believe God, everything, all your thoughts, all your beliefs, all the people that you've known will not be a memory within you. It's done, it's gone, and so I believe that is a great way to look at life And also, a good question is, how did we get here? How did single cell organisms go from single cell organisms to two? Science
Okay.
has not proven how that's possible.
They have. All right. So when it comes to first of all, when it comes to because you seem to allude to that you had some mental health issues. I'm glad that you're better. Whatever you use to get yourself better, as long as it's not harming anybody else, go ahead and use it. You feel me? Like I'm not knocking you for that. I'm glad that you're better. But when it comes to the actual question of whether or not it's true or not, using it as a tool to get out of your depressed mental state doesn't necessarily make that the belief true. It means that the belief is powerful. It means that the claim is powerful. It means that the claim can cause life altering and mind altering things to happen, but that doesn't necessarily make it true. For example, I live in a community where I grew up in a community where it was low income, right? And I'm part of a community where a lot of people get stigmatized, go to jail, etc. I've known people who have gone to jail and came out and they were Muslim. So them going to jail and becoming Muslim made them better men, made them better people. Does that make Islam true? I don't think you're going to convert, right?
Well, I mean, people have different life experiences that is life changing, and if you go down the scientific road, can you explain how any of us even exist? And of course, you can make the argument
What does that mean?
nothing. Like, how did we get here?
How
How
did
are we talking right now?
how did humans get here?
Sure. We'll say humans or animals or
We
or
evolved.
cells or protons, neurons.
We evolved. You know about the theory of evolution. You mentioned it. We evolved.
Right. So 13 billion years ago. Well, no, let's go beyond that. So what existed 1 trillion years ago?
Mhm.
Okay. So how did we get here? Is
We
the question.
evolved. You keep asking the same question. I already answered it. We evolved.
Evolved from what?
Single cell
What are we?
organisms.
And how did single cell organisms get here?
Probably abiogenesis, but we're not sure yet.
By how?
Abiogenesis, but we're not 100% sure yet.
What is abiogenesis?
Abiogenesis is basically one of the origin of life theories. That's the one that has the most evidence behind it.
Can you just give me a like a 30-second spill on it?
Yeah, abiogenesis essentially shows how life can come from non-life if you have the chemical not just reactions but the chemical like environment for it.
So where did that chemical environment come from?
Earth, like early Earth. Early Earth was very energetic, very hot, wet, and there was lots of electricity going on, like lots of lightning happening. So
there was
perfect
dirt and
chemical
stuff
environment.
like that. Right. So there was dirt, water, stuff like that. There were
Yeah,
plants or whatever.
exactly the minerals mixing together, like chemical reactions happen, and
Right.
Organic molecules can form, and from those organic molecules you can
Right.
get RNA, then DNA, etc., and cells, etc.
And so where did those things come from? So where the first grain of dirt or rock or liquid or methane,
Bro,
where did that come from?
why don't you actually ask like astrophysicists and geologists and chemists? Like I'm not gonna I'm not a like is this is
Because you
here's
can't
hold on wait
explain.
hold on. This is my issue that I've always had with like folks like yourself, right? The issue that I've always had is that y'all expect us to be experts in chemistry, physics, geology, cosmos. Hold on, because these type of questions that you're asking, you literally have to be experts in those fields because it's very, very complex. If I'm not going to be able to answer that all the way to your satisfaction, why don't you actually talk to the people who are experts in this field? You can go down to hold on. You can go down to the local university in your town and go ask these questions, right? Why not go ahead and ask them?
Because I've asked people smarter than them.
Who's smarter than who knows more about geology than a geologist?
Then the local geologist here, probably the world's leading expert in geology or physics.
Okay,
Or
who's the world leading expert in geology and physics, and how did you even get to them?
Well, they're on YouTube. They're on. You know, you can Google their.
The world leading expert in geology ain't on fucking YouTube, bro.
So you're saying that the world leading geologists or physicists.
Who's the world leading
is-
physicist?
Just pick a name. You know.
Like Neil deGrasse. Okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson actually is on YouTube. I'll give you that one. So you
Well-
went to you
people
actually
smarter
spoke
than
to
him.
you actually spoke to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No, but you listen to these videos that they have at these conferences, and people ask these very similar questions or same exact questions, and all of their answers is, "I don't know. Nobody knows."
Yeah, yeah,
All of
because
them.
you keep
Every
you,
single one.
because
Nobody knows.
no
You have
hold on
no idea.
hold on because the strategy that y'all use is that once we answer a question, you ask another question. Oh, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
It's gonna get to a point where we don't know, right? But that doesn't necessarily make that your belief true, does it?
It doesn't invalidate it, does it?
Yeah, I'm not saying that it invalidates it, but you can't just because we cannot answer something to your satisfaction doesn't make your position true.
Well, I don't want you to answer it to my satisfaction, or not you, but talking about them. I don't want them to answer it to my satisfaction, but at least kind of generally, kind of teeny tiny bit have a. Well, we may have came from this. Now the
thing is,
hold
bro.
on, let me
Like
help
we
you
do.
out, let me help you out.
No. The thing is that we people actually do, because I already know where you were going with this. You're gonna ask me where the minerals come from, then where the dust particles came from, then where those particles come from, where did the secretion
the
get? Hold
two
on,
brains.
hold on. First, you're gonna you already asked me about single cell organisms, and I said it's likely abiogenesis. Then you asked me about those organic materials, where they come from. I was gonna mention you the minerals that were on the earth. You're gonna ask me where those minerals come from. I was gonna say from dust clouds and how the earth formed. Then you're gonna ask me how did that form. I was gonna tell you about stellar formation and accretion disk. You're gonna ask me where that comes from. I was gonna tell you about going back to how it was after the Big Bang and how the universe was. Then you're gonna ask me, okay, well then how did the Big Bang start? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So I already know the path you were going down. It's going to get down to a path where I'm gonna have to tell you I don't know, right? But just because we cannot answer that question yet, that does not make you the position of there must be some sort of God outside space and time. That does not make it true. That's what I'm always trying to get to, because I know the path you were going down. You're gonna go down to the path where I can tell you that I don't know yet.
Right, but then even further than that, where did God come from? You know, because God had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, you got to answer that question. I don't know where God came from.
Yeah. Well, nobody can answer that question, but to say that we came from absolutely nothing.
No one says that.
You can't.
Well,
No one says that.
One group of people say that. Christians and Muslims say that.
Yeah.
Abrahamics say that.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, Satham is right. Yeah, Christians and Muslims do say we came from nowhere. We came from nothing, actually.
Do you believe something can come from nothing, the ledge?
Do I think something can come from nothing? I would say no.
Are you Christian?
I am in the process right now to start following religion and start following the Bible. And I think
Hold on. So let's just nip it in the bud. Because do you agree that what you have to do you care about what's true?
I care about what's true, but also what could be.
It's just a yes or no question. Do you care about what's true?
Not only that, but what could be.
That's not relevant to my question. Just do you care about what's true?
I care about
Just
what
yes
could
or no.
be. I care about what could be.
I didn't ask you.
So you don't care about what's true. You just care about what could be.
I care about both.
Okay, so you care about what's true. Yes.
I actually care more about what could be than
Jesus
what's
fucking
true.
Christ. Okay, the legendary. I'm not
What you're
sure
trying to
why.
do is
Hold
you
on,
just
listen.
say no.
I'm not
You're trying to
sure.
either say no,
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
say
No,
no,
we're
and then
not.
you're gonna
No, we're
say,
not.
okay, then
Legendary,
God
no.
isn't real.
Legendary, no. Legendary, no. No, that's
I
not
played
what
this
we're.
game before.
That's not what we're trying to do. We Satham asks you a question, and I'm asking you the same question, and I'm not asking about anything else. I'm asking just a yes or no to this specific question. Yes or no, do you care about what is true?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do.
There you go. Okay, cool. So if you care about what's true, go ahead, Satham.
Okay. Um, do you think that you're like do you comport with, like, do you follow logic? Do you apply logic? Do you think logic is something real and something substantial?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so one of the there's like three basic rules of logic, and one of them, and logic, all logic is just a way to describe what occurs in reality. Okay, so one of the rules of logic is like the law of non-contradiction. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but um, if something can't exist and then the contradiction exists at the same time. So, like, for example, I can't be married but also single at the same time. You with me?
Okay.
That's not possible, right? Put another way, your God can't exist and then also exist at the same time. Either the God exists or it doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Like, both of those things can't be true. I don't care what the magic ability of this God is or isn't. Nothing can break this rule of reality. You with me?
Okay.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I don't think something can come from nothing. It's not possible. It breaks the rules of law of non-contradiction. That's the logical rule. Okay? Something is that thing. It's not something else. Either something exists or it doesn't exist. If nothing exists, then something doesn't exist. I don't know if that was a little complicated. I can repeat it for you.
Well, no, I
If-
kind of
if
understand
there-
what you're saying.
Yeah, if there's nothing there, there's nothing. There's something does not exist. Nothing exists at all.
Right.
And something cannot come from nothing.
Right.
So according to the Abrahamic worldview, what existed in the beginning?
Are you asking me or?
Yes,
Oh, I have no idea. Or
God.
what it says. I have no idea what it
God.
says.
God existed in the beginning.
Right.
And then he's feeling bored, or it is feeling bored, because it's anthropomorphic. And it decides, it says, I'm going to create something. And it says, let there be light. Correct? I don't know if you've ever read it. This is like the first page
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
Bible
yeah.
and the
Yeah,
Torah.
yeah, yeah,
It's also
yeah.
in the Quran. Okay. And then it says, let there be light. And then boom. Out of this nothingness, something comes.
Okay.
But that's impossible because something cannot come from nothing. Correct?
Then why did it?
It didn't, and that's the point. This is a
Then how-
silly story that if you used your brain for 2 seconds, you'd be like,
Then-
this is a dumb story and it doesn't make sense.
Then how are we here? Because you just.
That's
nuked
but
the
that's
entire
that's not the
argument.
question. Hold on. What I'm doing is invalidating a claim. How we
No,
got here, we may
no.
not know, and we may never know. But that's a different question. What I'm doing is somebody's coming up and telling me I know how we came here, and I'm saying, no, you're lying. What you're saying is bullshit. We may get
Right.
100 possible explanations, but we have to figure out each one. But just because I disqualify one doesn't mean the other one automatically becomes true. You understand?
Right, but you just completely and totally invalidated your argument with that.
You can go ahead, we'll see. I think
You understand that, right?
No, he actually didn't, legendary. He didn't invalidate his own position by saying that.
Right.
What he's saying,
Right, so-
what we're saying is that yes, we all agree that something can't come from nothing because nothingness cannot exist. Nothingness is not a thing; it cannot exist. So there's no such thing as something coming from nothing. However, if you read the Christian
Why
like
we
text,
here?
if you read like the Quran or the Bible, let me ask you this question: what did God make the universe out of?
What we see around us, atoms, particles, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so atoms existed at the same time as God.
I mean, there's no proof of that. I've no idea.
Right. So what did God make the universe out of?
Oh, that's a good question.
Exactly. So
But to say that we
something
came
can come
from
from
nothing,
nothing. But if we read the Bible, it literally says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So it doesn't tell us what he made anything out of. So it implies there that he just willed it into existence out of thin air, essentially.
I mean, that makes more sense than us coming from nothing, because if nothing or something
Bro,
can come
did
from
you hear?
nothing, then
Did you hear
how
what
are
I
we
said?
having this conversation?
Did you hear what I said? I don't think you tracked what I said. Try to track what I said. The Bible says that in Genesis 1:1 that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. It doesn't say that he made it out of anything, right? It didn't say that he used any other prior material. He just said that he created the heavens and the earth, which kind of implies that he simply zapped it into existence out of just his will, out of nothing. And you just said that makes more sense because something can't come from nothing. But the Bible literally says that's exactly what happened. So which one makes more sense?
That's not the way I read it.
All right. So the way you read it, how did God make create the heavens and the earth?
By creating the particles, the atoms, and all that from
How did
nothing.
he so he created the particles
From
out of
nothing.
so you just said something comes from nothing, but then you said it doesn't make sense that something comes from nothing? Like are you contradicted yourself? You just said it doesn't make sense that
No.
something comes from nothing, but you just said God made particles and atoms out of nothing.
Right, because he's God.
So how does it make sense? How does it make more sense that God can create something from nothing, but it doesn't make sense that something can't come from? Are you tracking yourself? Like this argument
Yeah,
it's nonsense.
All right. So,
Bro, hold on. Legendary. This argument is nonsense. You're saying that it makes sense that God can create something from nothing, but it doesn't make sense that we're here because something can't come from nothing. Those two statements contradict each other, my guy.
So let me clarify this. All right. So based on your argument, we, which is something, and the world around us, the universe around us, came from nothing, which makes less sense than we right here in the universe came from something, which would be God.
All right, but no one believes that we came from nothing. So your entire your entire like paradigm is flawed because atheists don't say hold on, wait, listen. Atheists do not say that something came from nothing. We don't say that. So your entire paradigm is flawed. You're the one saying something came from nothing because you just said God created particles out of nothing. So you believe that.
So my question to you is, if God did not create the universe, what created the universe?
We don't know.
Okay. So to say, well, I don't know for a fact that and I can't prove that God created the universe, but that makes more sense than we came from absolutely nothing.
But you just said we came from absolutely nothing. You just said that.
The universe that we live in came from nothing. The realm of space and time that we operate and live in came from nothing. Something, an interdimensional being or a God or something has created us, because nothing can come from nothing.
But you
Stuff
just
can
said
come-
that he created particles out of nothing.
That makes more sense than what you're saying, that we are just here just because we're here.
No, it doesn't make more sense. That's a
How not?
bro. Hold on.
How?
It doesn't make sense because you're basically
How?
saying that God is a wizard.
I mean, it's a God.
That's how you're explaining God. You're explaining God in wizardry terms. Like God is like fucking Voldemort and shit. Like why would we believe that? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? That because we can't explain how the universe came to be or why existence is the way that it is, because we can't explain that, therefore an interdimensional super wizard made particles out of thin air. That makes no fucking sense at all, bro. That's
I got
nonsense.
one question for you. So I got one question for you, just one question. Which would you prefer if you had to have a magic wand and said, well, not say, but create that reality? What in the world is that?
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he's peeing or something, man. So if you had your wish, which would you rather be true? that we came from nothing and there's nothing
No,
at
wishes have nothing to do with
no
reality, my
stop
friend.
stop
It
stop
has to
stop
make
stop.
sense.
Okay,
Has
hold,
to
hold
be
on. Let him go.
logical
Let him
and
go. Let him
rational.
go.
Yes,
Yeah, let me
let
go.
me
Let me go.
finish because you know you're about to get dog walked. Just hold on. So if you had your wish and hope and dreams came true, either we came from nothing and absolutely nothing will exist after you are gone, no memories, no nothing, it's all done, everything is done. Either choose that or you could choose there is something after and it's God and heaven and all that stuff. Which would you choose?
I choose logic.
Yeah, I
There you go.
wouldn't.
You
I
choose
wouldn't
God.
choose.
There you go.
I wouldn't choose
Thank you.
the. Hold on. Listen. When you asking about this God, are you talking about the God of the Bible?
It's a simple question.
Hold on. Wait. I need you to specify which God are you talking about?
No, I'm talking if you had a choice.
Hold
to
on,
pick-
bro. I heard your question. I'm asking you to specify the
Okay,
God
then
you're
answer
talking.
it.
Hold on. I'm asking you to specify the God you're talking about. Are you talking about the God of the Bible?
Just pick one.
No, I'm not just gonna pick one because I would rather be the gods of African voodoo. I'll rather chill with those gods than the God of the Bible. So if you're saying that the choice is nothingness or the God of the Bible, I'm choosing nothingness because the God of the Bible is a dick.
So now we understand where you're coming from. So
We
why is
always
that?
understood where we were coming from because we laid out to you where
We're coming from.
You
So
weren't
what you're
tracking
doing-
this whole time. We explained the logic to you, and so far you haven't been able to follow. And you
But
think
your
there's some
logic
sort of
is
mystery
flawed.
here. So
No,
I'm
my
not
logic
sure
is
what
not
you-
flawed. My logic is that we if we can't explain something, then we say we don't know. We don't claim that a super wizard did it.
So your
At least
interpretation.
we know evolution
What's the flaw?
started from
So
a
your
single
interpretation.
cell organism.
So your
and
interpret.
we
Hold on.
evolved
Everybody pause.
into where
Everybody
we
pause. I'm sorry. Everybody pause. Juju, how's it going, brother? Give me 1 second. All right, just a pause real quick. What were you saying? Legendary.
Yeah. So your interpretation of the Bible and God as the world knows it makes you feel. Your opinion is he's a dick.
Yeah,
And
he's a
so-
jerk off. He literally says we
and
can have
therefore-
slavery. He
and
said that
therefore,
you
because
can
of-
you can rape women. Yeah, he's a dick.
And therefore, your opinion means that you would prefer that we come from nothing.
No, I didn't say that I prefer that we come from nothing. I said I would rather have nothingness after death if I have to chill forever with the God of the Bible because he's a jerk off.
And
Right.
remember, that was it. Hold on,
Because of
hold
your
on. That was a
opinion.
response to your question where you narrowed the two. You gave a dichotomy. So he was forced to choose between the options you gave. That
Yeah.
wasn't his initial response at all. He simply said, "Hey, we have no credence on this proposition, so we reject it." And it also makes no sense. It defies the laws of reality, so we know it can't be true. That's what he initially told you. Then you said, "Well, if you had a choice, which one would you prefer?" And according to your parameters, he
But you
answered
don't know it's
because of
not
the
true.
question you asked. This was not his choice. You put it into you asked him. So you created this goalpost, and then now you're asking, "Oh, well, see, this is what you picked." That's your question. My
So
friend, you're
because-
not being intellectually honest here.
No, I am. I think I'm far more
Okay, so
honest than you
did
guys
you
because I'm
understand-
putting
what-
all my
what is
cards
No,
our
on
you're
the table.
you're
as
not.
you
Hold on,
understand?
wait. So everybody pause. The reason why you're not being more honest than us, Legendary, is because I can admit that I don't know something. You're putting in a claim that you cannot possibly prove to be true, which is like a super being outside of space and time created particles out of nothing. When I'm saying, when you ask me how did the universe start, I'm like, I don't know. That's honest because I really don't know. You're claiming
I
something.
pose-
Hold on. You're claiming something untestable, unfalsifiable, and not demonstratable to be true. That is dishonest.
No, I made the argument or the statement that, well, where did God come from? It is critical thinking that you guys seem to lack because you feel your opinion of the Bible and what's in the Bible.
All right, I'm not wasting any more time. I appreciate everybody being up here. You guys are amazing and wonderful. We're gonna go ahead and move on with our discussion. If anybody else would like to talk, go ahead and we can talk more about it. All right. And Legendary, you didn't cook anything. All right, you burned. You crashed and you
Well,
burned
that drop was too late. Like we should have dropped. He
a
wasn't
long
tracking.
time ago.
Was
He
not
wasn't tracking at all. You tried to cook Legendary and you burned. All
He
right.
was waiting for that crash shot. It finally came because I saw it. I saw he was squirming.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the Zion, how's it going, Zion? You were talking in the comments, so I know that you think you could give us a good reason to believe in a God. Are you at least 18?
Yes.
Okay, great. What is that reason?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't describe it as a good reason. I think I want to, speak to the issue because I mean, we know that the Earth had a beginning, right? That's provable by science that there was there was an original point where the Earth came into existence, and so everything that has a beginning has some kind of a cause. The question is, what possibly could bring this whole thing into existence? And I tend to believe that it has to be something that would have to be outside the boundaries of this physical universe. So
If we accept that it's outside the boundaries of this physical universe, let's say we accept that premise, right? Why does it have to be a deliberate creator and not a natural process that we simply don't understand yet?
because there's no evidence that any process that has to happen would need material for that process to kick in, and we haven't seen any evidence that material things could come out of nothing.
All
So
right,
it would
but
have to be
but
something that
but two problems. Number one, no one says that, but no one says that materials came out of nothing. But number two, the same can be said ascribed to your God.
if we are saying that something is outside the dimensions of the physical universe, then the attributes of that thing would not necessarily have the same attributes of the physical universe. And so,
Well, hold on. If we're saying that something is outside this physical universe, you're saying that those attributes wouldn't be the same attributes that we have in this universe. Why not?
right, that entity would not
Wait, why not? Hold on.
necessarily
Why are you
have.
saying it's an entity? You're having a lot of assumptions here, right? So,
Oh
like
yeah, of
something,
course, it's a
right?
postulation. It's
Right,
not
right.
an
Yeah, right.
exact
It's
science.
a postulation, but you just said that my postulation doesn't have evidence, but neither does yours. So
I've
why?
not,
What?
I've
What?
not
What
even
makes?
talked about your
Hold
part
on.
yet.
Hold on. Hold on.
You
What I
asked me.
asked you. What I asked you is. What I
Hold
asked you.
on.
Hold
Hold
on.
on a second. Legendary, I'm like, if you keep on talking shit in the comments, I'm gonna mute your ass, honey. Cause the host cooked you, and you talk about you cooked somewhere earlier. You didn't even heat the kitchen, bitch. Okay? And I was patient with you when you were up here. Ask Volsey, honey.
Yeah.
That took a lot of patience for me,
Lot of
honey.
patience. Yeah. You burned
Okay,
water.
so keep on talking ish in the comments, and I'm gonna mute your ass for the whole rules. I'm like, Royce, I'm gonna show you that a black woman is God, and this bitch, I'm gonna mute your ass and take your tongue and off with your head, bitch.
He basically came up here and burned
Okay.
water. How do you burn water? All right. So thank you so much, Kate. All right. I'm gonna talk a little bit with Zion. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead. All right. Hey, Sakafet Sandy. All right. So Zion, here's I guess the contention or the issue that I'm having is that when we're talking about the beginnings of the universe, right? You're ascribing it to some sort of entity or deliberate creator. What I'm saying is that why would we assume that and not a natural process that we don't understand? Because everything that we understand about our world and even about our universe has always had a natural explanation. There's not one piece of anything in our universe that we understand that has not has a natural explanation. Everything has a natural explanation. So why would the creation or why would the universe in of itself or existence in of itself now need a supernatural explanation and not a natural one that we haven't discovered?
Well, it's very simple. If you're talking about the confines of the physical universe, then yeah, everything will be explained by a process or, some kind of mechanism. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what brought it into existence. So for that, it has to be something that has to be outside of that.
Right. No,
Well, I don't think you
understand.
understood the question, dog.
Yeah.
He's not asking you where it comes from. He's asking you what leads you to the conclusion that whatever this force is that led to the creation of this universe, must be some sort of agent with a mind. What is the evidence to lead to that conclusion?
Nobody's
It could.
talking about a
He
mind or
conceded.
anything.
He
These
gave
are
you
things that you're
perhaps.
making up.
Hold on, my
Who
friend.
talked about a
He
mind?
gave you that it could be outside of this universe and reality. Sure, but that's not what's next. He said,
Okay.
how do you know this isn't a consequence of naturally occurring phenomena? How do you know this is a consequence of some willful intent with a mind behind it?
Just told you, for natural things to happen, there will have to be material things. And so if we are saying that the earth came into existence or how it came into existence, and we're saying that that thing is outside the boundaries of earth, then it cannot be a natural thing.
Yeah, it
Because the
can,
material
because the
things are
earth
not
was
real.
created by natural means. We have an explanation for that.
What is the explanation of that?
Accretion discs.
The what?
Accretion discs.
A creation disk. So that's a physical thing, right?
It's a physical thing.
Okay, we know that physical things cannot be come into existence out of nothing. So are you saying that it came out of nothing?
That's
But
not what
no
I
one
said.
said that.
Okay, so creation disk. How did that come into existence?
Accretion disk.
Accretion
not
disc.
Creation. Accretion. ACC.
Yeah, accretion discs come into existence when dust and gas particles are bounded by gravity.
Again,
And
we're talking
you know,
about
Where
material
that come
things.
from?
We're talking about material things again. You're gonna have to explain how those things exist.
right. This is the same exact problem that we had with the last guest. We're gonna
Yeah,
go
you're
ahead and
gonna
keep.
keep
Hold
saying
on.
that.
Let me
I'm like,
finish,
you
Zion.
muted. I told you to stop talking shit in the comments, bitch.
Yeah, I was.
Now, now I got your tongue.
Yeah, I was about to mute him myself. I appreciate that. All right, so
I'm like, pray to me. The black woman is God, bitch.
I was about to.
I told your ass I was gonna show you.
Yeah, I was about to mute him myself because I was getting tired of seeing it. All right, so when it comes to like for example, this is the same exact issue that we had with the last guest, where you're just gonna keep asking, oh, where did this come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? And we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna get to the Big Bang, and I'm gonna tell you I don't know how the Big Bang started, but you're going to claim that it had to start from some sort of deliberate entity, and I'm saying that we have no evidence to say that's true. It could have started by a natural process that we don't understand.
So if you can make that contention that it could have, then if somebody says that God, why is that such a big something that you can't?
Because you can't prove the existence of
God.
God.
Neither can you prove from whatever you guys are talking about.
This
Right.
is the simple.
Right,
This is
so-
the simplest
Hold-
explanation to all of this.
Yeah, Juju, give me 1 second, because I want to let you in, Juju. All right, so yeah, Zion, yeah. So neither of us can clearly said that our case is the right one, but the reason why I have a little bit more credibility than you do is because every single thing that we discovered about our universe has always had a natural explanation. There is not one thing that we've discovered or understand about our universe that has a supernatural explanation. Not one.
Yes.
So
About the
exist.
physical
Hold
universe.
on. So existence itself does not need a ghostly entity supernatural explanation. It can be a natural explanation. But the third thing, but it can be. But the third thing that I would say is that I've always said that I do not know, and that is the honest position because I don't know. Once you put forward a claim that is unfalsifiable, untestable, and say that one's the truth or likely to be the truth, you're being dishonest.
But also, you saying that you
That's
don't
fair.
know does not give credence to God did it.
That's fair.
So-
But the same way, I mean, if somebody claims God, they may not know what mechanism or like I heard you ask the previous person, how did God create? Did he just well into? He may not know the answer to that. It's the same. Pretty much the
So
same thing.
here's a simple difference between God existing and the universe existing. Now science can go far as the Big Bang Theory, and that's where it stops, where science goes. Every single step from that to the Big Bang Theory, it has evidence, proven evidence. But you claim of God existing, there is not a single evidence that you can prove that God existed. At least science proved to you
Like, for
all
example-
the way to the
Like,
Big
for
Bang
example-
Theory. There are evidence follow every single claim that we are discussing to you right now.
I mean, what
Like, for
evidence have you
example,
given?
if
You've
I
never
turn
given
this
us any
camera
evidence.
on, I'm like, I can prove that I exist. You can hear me. I can prove that I'm not a robot. All I gotta do is turn this
Exactly.
camera on. You can't prove that your God exists, though.
Exactly.
Correct. And
That's the
and the
I'm like,
simple
you see, let me
explanation.
turn this camera on.
And the
Right.
simple explanation is that everything about so if you believe that all there is to reality is the physical world, then that will be your contention.
All right, cool. So can you show that there's more than the physical world?
That's what I'm saying.
See how I could turn this camera on and you can see this melanated skin and these locks? See how I can
Beautiful
provide
lock.
this?
I'm
Do
I'm
that for your God, though.
I'm very jealous of the locks because they started falling out when I was in my early 20s, y'all. So it's like I'm jealous of the locks. Yeah, I wish I could have locks. I wish I could have locks. but yeah, exactly. So this is what we mean, Zion. Like you see how Kayla could turn on her camera and show that she exists. We can't do that for a God. So
Yeah, but you would not be able to do that for a God.
why not?
Because if we're telling you that a God is outside the confines of the physical universe, then you cannot use physical phenomena to explain it. I don't understand how you want to be able to use science or like to explain what
Hold on.
if somebody's
Is
saying.
the God that you're talking about that you believe in, is it all powerful?
Yes.
All right. So if it's all powerful, how is it not powerful enough to just right on the moon? I'm God. I created the universe out of nothing, or something like
Thank
that.
you.
So are
Thank
you
you.
saying that my camera is more
Simple.
powerful than your God?
It
Yeah,
is.
that'd be crazy.
I mean, is my camera more
Literally, it
powerful
is.
than your supernatural God
Sure.
that can create the whole universe? Because that's essentially what you're saying. You see how I could prove
He
that I
can create the
exist?
universe, but he can't prove his existence. That's just
Are you
silly.
saying I'm like I mean I know black girl magic is a
Juju, can you
thing,
prove how the universe came into being?
Can we prove why the universe came into being?
How it came into being?
How it came into being? Yeah,
Evolution, brother.
the Big Bang is the best explanation that we have right now. We just don't know why the Big Bang started. We're not sure.
Exactly. So you don't know how the universe started, pretty much.
Right, but that doesn't mean that the God claim is true.
Okay, it doesn't mean your Big Bang is true either. So
Yeah, it
it's
does.
like
We have
both
evidence of the
people
Big
are
Bang.
talking about-
We have
evidence of the Big Bang.
Just like you have evidence.
You don't have evidence of what
Just
brought
like
about the
I
Big
can
Bang.
prove evidence that I exist. See how easy that is. See
Yeah,
how
yeah, just turn on the camera. It's really easy. You know what I mean?
See how I
But
could turn on that camera? You see, I can prove that I exist. This melanated skin.
You're in the physical
this
universe.
pretty,
That's why.
Yeah.
It's not
fresh
something
face,
extraordinary about it.
bitch is right under the camera, right in front of you.
cool.
Do that for your God.
Is that everybody pause real quick? Everybody pause real quick. Everybody pause real quick. Okay, so Zion, the main issue that we're getting at is that yes, we do not know what caused the Big Bang, right? But we do have evidence of the Big Bang happening. How would you explain how would you explain the cosmic microwave background radiation? How would you explain that?
Like I said before, everything about this we've never in this universe seen anything come out of nothing. So if you're asking me, it would have to be something that's outside the boundaries of the universe. That's what I've contended from the beginning.
Right. No, hold on, but
Again, no one made that claim that nothing
Yeah,
came
came
out of
from
nothing.
something. I don't know why you keep
Well, you're
repeating
gonna
that.
have to explain it then, because if you don't have an explanation, then
You
somebody
believe
says,
God
"Ah."
existed, so where did he come from?
Hold on, everybody pause real quick. Everybody pause real quick, because I'm starting to get a headache. We're going over and over and
I
over
have a
again.
headache, too.
All right, so Zion, no one said that something came from nothing. No one here is claiming that. No one here is claiming that.
I
What?
didn't make that claim. Did you, Volsi?
No, I did not make that claim. It's like this is crazy.
I'm like, you see how I could turn on that camera?
Can I
I
say
want to
something,
see you
Rosie?
turn on the camera for God, though.
All right, so Zion, no one here said something came from nothing. No one said that. Now you're asking me to please explain how did the Big Bang happen? How did the universe expand the way it did? And I'm going to tell you, I do not know.
Okay.
But that does not mean that the claim of a God being real is now true. We can even give you that what expanded the Big Bang, what caused the Big Bang, probably came from outside the universe, whatever that means, because we're not even sure if that's a thing yet, right? But let's say that is a thing, and it came from outside of our universe, and it made ours. What I'm trying to say is that even if that was the case, it could possibly still be a natural explanation that we don't understand yet and we haven't discovered yet. It doesn't give more credibility or more credit to a supernatural, super wizard thingy interdimensionally creating universes out of nothing. It's that's not it doesn't give credence to that. We don't know what started the Big Bang. We don't know why existence is the way that it is, or the fundamental laws and everything like that. We're not sure about those things yet. But just because we don't know does not make this other claim true all of a sudden.
Sure. Okay. So for you, in order to believe in a God, are you looking for a physical, like something scientific to explain it? Is that what you're looking for?
Sir, didn't I
Yeah,
tell
evidence.
you put your God on the
Is
camera?
that what is going to convince you something
Not
physical?
explanation, evidence.
Oh, the
Yeah,
camera
right,
point
right.
is got to be dying. But yeah, evidence, something demonstrable, testable, repeatable,
I'm
or
like, go see, is this enough evidence for my
So like
existence for
science.
you?
definitely enough
Right,
enough
this is
existence.
evidence. Put your God on the camera.
Yeah.
Turn on your
So a
camera
scientific
and,
explanation
and
for the religion.
summon Jesus.
So
Dazion,
I'm sorry, Juju. I'm sorry, Juju. Let me just say this last thing. I'm sorry, Juju. Let me say this last thing. So, Zion, what I would look for, I would look for evidence that's testable, repeatable, demonstratable, or the last thing I said, undeniable. It can be supernatural, but it has to be undeniable. And the example I always give is the road to Damascus experience. I always say, give that to every single person on the planet at the same time in our own language, all 7 billion of us, and all of us survive. That's a supernatural thing, a supernatural event that is undeniable. If he were to do that, then I would believe it. Doesn't mean I'll worship him, because he's a jerk
Now,
off.
that's two different
But
things.
I'll believe
Because I say I will never worship the God of the Bible, but I wouldn't necessarily be an atheist anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't be an atheist
So-
anymore. I'd be like, oh shit, he exists. Well,
Okay, Dazion, I think the problem is like you understand, right? When is the time to believe something?
after
Prior
it's proven
evidence
to
or
be true.
post-evidence?
In the physical world, yes.
No, see, you keep adding this adjective, this
Yeah,
qualifier in the
because
physical world, in the
because
physical world. And the
those are
problem
boundaries
is,
of
hold
what-
on. And the problem is, as Volsi just answered, when is the time to believe something? Post evidence or pre evidence? And the answer is always post
Post-evidence.
evidence. And you keep saying in a physical world, in a physical world, in a physical
Yeah,
world.
in the physical
So
world.
and this is a dishonest thing for you
It's
to
not.
say, because what you're
not
doing is
dishonest.
you're creating a my friend, hold on. I've been muted this whole time. I don't know why you're interrupting me. What you're trying to do is just create this little
And mind you,
workaround
just so you
where-
know, only me and Volsi can interrupt people. Just so you know. So
where you're creating this little workaround where all of us, this, if you're a logical, rational person, this should be the standard you live with. But then you're saying, well, no, I tell you this thing, and then you say, no, physical, as only as far as it relates to a physical world, as it relates to a physical world every time, as if it's a caveat, and it's not. Even the physical world proposition that you're promoting or proposing, you need to verify that exists before you can refer to it.
All right,
You understand?
everybody pause me real quick. I know Juju, I interrupted you again, but I'm gonna let you go right after I say this. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody being here. Let's get me to 30K likes. I appreciate everybody here. Let's get to that 30K likes. I am gonna go ahead and get off soon, though, because I don't want to be on here all night. Indespicable. If you would like to come up, go ahead and come on up. But that's all I needed to say. Please follow me on
I'm like,
YouTube.
also, while you're at it, Legendary, you ain't coming back on this panel, bitch.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know why you pressing up.
I don't know why you requested. He's definitely not coming back up. Oh, and I have Hophni as a request. Hophni, I'm gonna get to you soon. Let me just finish with Zion and Sathan. I may drop you just so we're not too cluttered. All right.
Totally fine, man.
But just give me a few minutes. All right. Oh, one last thing, y'all. Go ahead and follow me on all the socials: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those things. Black Atheist Skeptics and Humanists Cookout is coming. I'm gonna go live about that sometime this week or in January. All right, but
Wait, when is that going to be coming? I thought that was in the new year.
oh, it's in June. It's in June. Yeah, it's not.
Oh,
no
yeah,
time
so
soon.
it's in the new year.
Yeah,
Like
in the new year.
2026.
2026. Yeah, 2026.
And you said it's going to be in FL?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Florida. I'm gonna iron out all the by January. All the details will be ironed out. Exactly where it's gonna be.
I gotta,
all
I'm
that
like,
good
cause I gotta get money if I'm gonna be going to FL, and I'm like, child, the way y'all governor is, I gotta be real careful.
Be
So
careful.
I'm not gonna put all my tea out there.
Yeah.
But just because of the governor out there, I gotta be real careful if I'm coming down.
Yeah. Be very careful. But just know that we got the belt strapped. If you know what I'm talking about. All right. So
Yes.
you'll be good.
I'm like, I got the memo.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
like,
be good.
I'm like, I might bring my sister just in case.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not- well, I mean, she's not an atheist or a skeptic. She's You've met my sister, the Muslim.
The Muslim,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I met her. All right. All right. So guys, that's all I had to say. Juju, go ahead and take the floor, and then we may need to move on because I want to get to Hophni. But Juju, go ahead and take the floor. What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say we've already actually went through this about God versus the universe and how everything that we proven that existed has evidence and all of that backs it up as far as science go. But here, Zane, whatever his name is, he cannot actually prove or address anything that actually of God is existing. Is just gonna believe. But then, where did God come from? If he says nothing comes out of it. If God came from something, then something created God, more powerful than God, and so on and so forth. Like he is saying, everything that you say,
God
okay,
is
yes.
even God.
Mm.
To me.
Exactly. I mean, God isn't God if that's the case, because he had to have been created by something more powerful than it, and so on and so forth. And that's why these guys keep on asking you, okay, where did this come from? And then you explain to them what it is, and you have proof and evidence of it, and then they tell you what that come, until you go all the way to the Big Bang theory, and then that's it. It stops right there. But all of that
It's very
prior to that,
disingenuous Christian
we
babble.
have
What I like to
evidence. We
call
have
it.
evidence of all of it. But then yet, when we ask them a simple question, where did you prove about God is existing? Nothing. Just the Bible. Read the book. Read the book.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can write a good story. I mean, that's easy.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, I can tell you about a story that I've experienced, and it's your choice whether or not you believe it or not. I'm from Iraq originally, so in '91 we have the invasion of Iraq. If anybody remember that,
USSR.
I left Iraq. Yes, I left Iraq, and we were leaving our home. This is a story that I'm telling you right now. As we were leaving our home, I was locking the front door, and my older brother said, "Get out of there. We're not gonna come back to this house. Leave." So as soon as I walked 2 steps, there's a bullet right where I was, in the door. If I would have stood there for 5 seconds, I would have been dead. So we left. I'm asking Jazal or Jazon, is this true? Is this a true story, or what do you think? Am I telling the truth, or what do you think? I have a point to deliver with this.
By the way, Randa is eating in the comments.
I'm asking, does Zion are you listening, or are you still there?
Yeah,
You
Zion.
said
Did you hear Juju's story?
almost got shot. You said you almost got shot.
I almost got
You gotta
shot,
say,
but
like, almost on the live. TikTok is
You
real
were
well
almost on the
related.
live. You were almost on the
yeah.
live.
Okay, so do you believe my story is true or not?
Do I believe what you just said, whether it's true or not?
Yes.
I don't know. It depends
So
on
how?
it would depend on how trustworthy I take you. I don't have enough information to make that assessment.
Okay, so if you think that I'm
But
in
you want
between
us
whether
to
or
take
not,
your word for it and say,
you have to take my word.
trust me, bro, because God said so.
Exactly. So this is the point that I'm trying to make. So you basically went ahead and trust the word of this book because they felt really good to you. They were like too compelling and believable. It's like a good story, but you chose to believe it. But there is absolutely no evidence to back it. Just like my story, there's no evidence to back it but myself. And you don't know if I'm telling the truth or not, but me.
Right.
I'm the only one who actually knows whether or not this story is true or not for sure.
Yeah, but what's the comparison?
Comparison to the Bible.
Yeah, but why are you making an assumption? I'm talking about a God. I'm not even talking about the Bible. Why are you?
You're talking. Well, how did you
conflating the
come
two?
to believe God because of what the Bible tells you? Otherwise,
No.
if the
I
Bible
didn't- I
didn't
didn't- I
mention
haven't-
anything,
I haven't said anything about
that's the
Bible.
thing. That's the thing. If the Bible,
I
if there
can
is no
believe
such
there is
thing,
a
if there's
God
no,
outside the
no
Can
Bible.
you guys
book,
hold on? Pause real quick, both of you. All right. So let's do this. Let's be fair to Zion. Zion, which God are you talking about?
I'm not even. I don't even want to say a particular religion or anything. I'm just saying that there's something I believe there's something outside the physical universe. That's what
Okay,
I'm telling
and
you.
what God do you believe in,
Which
Zion? That's what he
I
asked.
believe in a God.
okay, so your God
Which
is
God? There are thousands of different
yeah.
gods
No,
in
there's only
different
one God.
Right,
cultures.
right.
Which
Okay.
Not
one?
from
The
my viewpoint.
Christian
It's
God,
God.
the Islamic God? Are you a Buddhist? Do
Let
you
me.
practice African spirituality?
Mhm.
Which God?
Yeah.
Zion.
Matter of fact, Kate, let me ask this question. Zion, is Jesus your Lord and personal Savior?
Is Jesus my Lord and personal Savior? Yes.
Okay, so the Christian.
So
There
you're
we
a
go.
Christian. Why
So the
However,
didn't
Christian
you
God.
just
Yeah.
say
Why
that?
do you beat
Christian
around the
God.
bush?
that's totally
You
young
believe
for.
in Christian God.
However, my background, my parents are from Africa, right? So we also believe in the African traditional religion. So I'll say that.
Cool.
Well,
The
due to the
Christian God.
colonization on the continent, and many people have been, that has been washed away on many different ethnicities on the continent as well. So,
All right.
So for me to
I think we've gotten to the end here. Because I appreciate you, Zion, but we got to go ahead and move on. All right, we got to go ahead and get to the next person.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I appreciate. Yeah, that
that,
was.
because that was pointless.
Yeah, that was kind of an ordeal. All right, I appreciate everybody being
It's
up.
funny because my example was perfect. I could turn on my Cameron's girl, my tongue twister today.
awesome.
My
Yeah,
camera to improve my existence, but you can't do that for your God because you know that you don't have any physical evidence for
Yeah.
your God. But
Exactly.
again, girl, I had that shit turned around.
I'm dying.
But
All right.
I have physical evidence. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Literally.
physical evidence right there. All right, let's go ahead and move. Let's go ahead and move on. Create 88. Creator 88. I got you. All right,
I have
we're
a
gonna get
big
you.
ass forehead. Y'all don't read.
All right, Creator 88. I got you. We're gonna get to you next, but I want to speak to Hophni first. All right, Hophni, are you at least 18, and do you think you could give us a good reason to believe in a God?
Hophni, are you there? Are you available?
Don't tell me we gotta pray for your Wi-Fi, Hophni. Hophni,
I'm like, Hophni, does Jesus got your Wi-Fi? I'm like, is it anointed? I'm like, praise Jesus Wi-Fi? I'm like, can you call Jesus to fix your Wi-Fi?
all right, y'all.
Yes.
We need to do a spiritual cleanse for Hophni's Wi-Fi. Like, what's going on,
Y'all know
Hophni?
what? Volsi, you and I are not shit. We're not shit. We ain't ish. Volsi, where have you been anywhere? I have not seen you go live in like a cute little minute.
No, I've been going live. Last week I was at residency for my master's program, so I couldn't go live all last week.
Oh, how is that going? I didn't know you were. You were going back to school.
Mhm.
Been thinking about going back to school for beauty school because I'm like really good with makeup and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
do
I've
it.
been thinking about.
Yeah.
I
It was
actually was supposed to go to Empire, like right outside of when I got out of high school, but I was going through like personal stuff at the time, so I couldn't do it.
yeah, but it was pretty good. Like all right. I'm not gonna waste any more time on Hophni. All right, so yeah, it was pretty good. It was the professors told me I did a professors told me I did a great job in my counseling skills and my mock trials and everything like that. As a matter of fact,
What are you going for?
I'm going for mental health counseling, essentially. So, because
I'm
I
like,
want
child, I'm like, our community needs
community
that,
needs it.
child.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna focus a lot on. I'm gonna focus a lot on young black men, especially. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, please, honey.
Yeah.
Because
My hat for
I'm like,
you,
to
brother.
be fair, I don't know how many of them are going to go to therapy, but they definitely need to.
They need to. One thing that I noticed is that a lot of them, the reason why they've been avoiding it is because a lot of the therapists they think are not gonna look like us. They think are gonna be blonde hair, blue eyed, and women. They don't trust them.
It's true,
See what I
but
mean?
like, you got to find what works.
You gotta find what works. Exactly.
Hey,
Hey, Shemaine is here. Hey, Shemaine. How's it going, Shemaine? Yeah,
That's
you
my
have to.
sis.
Yeah, you have to find what works for you. No, I do agree with you. You have to find what
My
works for you.
My Afro-Latina, so African-American sister, what's
Mhm.
good?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You gotta find what works for you, It's just like, you know, how our community doesn't really
It's definitely
trust.
culturally competent therapists are definitely hard to come by.
Hard, yeah, culturally
Like to be
competent,
honest,
yeah.
I have actually had not. I'm like I've had easier time finding like PCPs than I have had therapists.
Therapists, yeah.
And to be honest, that's saying something because that has not even been an easy time to do anyway.
Yeah, it's really not easy. Yeah, but my professors told me that I did really well. Like I got the counseling skills like down packed, and I'm gonna be a great one. As a matter of fact, for the first time in the residency in my school, what they did was all the students actually switched classes, right? And we went to other classes to practice on them, and both of the students said that I did really well. As a matter of fact, they said that they brought up things from their real life and their real therapy sessions, and I said things to them that even their own therapist didn't say. So it's like that made me really proud. You know, I mean, I was able to do that.
Yeah, I'm like it's funny because I go to therapy every like 2 weeks, and so I'm like, child, that's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot. You do a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm only scratching the surface. I'm not even all the way there
It's
yet.
funny because like I'm like, oh, and speaking of like therapy and stuff, like I'm not gonna obviously put all of your tea out there, but like, how have you and your wife been doing? Have y'all gone to therapy together?
We have, yeah. We have. We spoke with someone. That it was brief. It was only a few weeks. I don't think she was able to stay with us for long. But you know, that's okay.
I'm glad. I'm like y'all have been in my thoughts, and I'm like.
So are we gonna get back to the prompt ahead, or what's
Yeah,
going on?
we're
Oh yeah.
yeah, we are gonna get back
Yeah,
to
we're
it. We'll
definitely gonna
just
get back to the
discussing.
prompt.
All right, well, let's get back. Yeah, you're right. Let's get back to the prompt. All right, so just one last thing, y'all. I'm at 25K likes right now. Let's get us to 30. Let's get us to 30 before we get out of here because Creator 88 is gonna probably be my last guess if Indespicable keeps refusing to come up and keeps spamming the chat. Indespicable, go ahead and come on up because I already sent you that guess.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't like punks. Come up here and
Yeah.
talk that ish up in the box.
Yeah, talk to us in the
I'm
box.
like, you know, if you do, matter of fact, if you do not come up here, and let's say it's a 1:32, if you're not up here by 1:11, I'm not sorry, like by one, let's say 1:03, yeah, about 1:30, like let's say in 5 minutes.
Mhm.
So 1:30. 38, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not up here by 1:38, I'm gonna mute you for the rest of the live.
As a matter of fact, just to make it fair, I invited Gerald. Gerald, go ahead and come on up since he's going back and forth with you. I'm gonna invite Gerald up and I'm gonna invite Indespicable up. So I'm gonna give you guys the floor. Me and Kay will be completely quiet and we'll just give it to y'all too. All right?
Actually, add Randa. Randy, is that what his name? Randa has been going in the chat.
Oh yeah. Randall's been going in as well. As a matter of fact, let me invite Randall up.
Randall, yes, definitely invite Randall up. I would love to see Randall and Despicable and what the other guy's name?
Gerald.
Gerald. Oh yes, I would pay good money to see that, honey.
Hey Randall, go ahead and request. I'm gonna bring you up. And Indespicable, I'm gonna invite you again. All right, Indespicable, go ahead and you can go back and forth with Randall and Gerald.
This is my messy atheist.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Randall up. And so Indespicable.
Oh, see, Randall isn't a punk.
Yeah, Randall ain't no
He came
punk.
right up.
Yeah. No, hey, not a problem, Gerald. Not a problem, Gerald. All right, so Indespicable. Hey, how's it going, bro? So Indespicable, we have Randall up, one of your ops. So we're gonna wait for you to come up, and if you don't come up, we're gonna mute you for the live. All right. So me and Kay will be quiet. You and Randall can continue to speak and go back and forth. All right. But until you come up,
Pretending I don't exist, fool, bro.
no. We're gonna get you. We're just trying to set something up
Oh,
here
no, you guys
because
have done that for a long time. It's cool. I'm used to it.
all good. All right. So what I was gonna say. I'm sorry.
Jesus isn't real. My bad. I forgot. You guys always do that.
Yeah. All right. So Creator, are you at least 18? Yeah. Creator, are you at least 18? And do you think you could give us a good reason to believe in a God?
I am at least 18.
All right. Do you think you give us a good reason to believe in a God?
I think I can share my experience with you, and I mean, if you choose to believe in my experience or choose to deny it, that's your choice.
Oh boy.
Or
All
your
right.
individual, you could say whatever your experience is, and we'll talk about it. So
Yeah, sure. Okay, so do you think your experience is a good
Yeah,
reason for
sure.
us to
Sounds
believe
like
in a
you're
God?
already ready to deny my experience, my guy.
Hey, creator, listen to my question. Do you think your experience is a good reason for us to believe in a God?
I definitely think my experience that I'm willing to share and be open about would be a good reason for anyone to believe in God.
Okay.
okay, so you have the floor.
My experience has been that I have been creating my reality with my thoughts and my minds and my imagination and my actions. So do you. You do the same thing, but you pretend you don't do that. You pretend and you lie and you cover up darkness and you pretend that other people aren't doing it. You make it comfortable for them and their lies so they don't feel bad. And guess what? More darkness just festers in this world everywhere. And you all pretend.
Hey, creator, let me ask you a question. When you were eating lunch today, was there a certain fungus in the
I
in
thought
the
you were a
food
mental health professional. You were trying to call me crazy.
that
This is fun.
was there a
Creator A,
certain was there a
Thought you
certain
were a mental health
I have a
professional.
real.
What's
Creator
up, bro?
A,
Thought you were a mental health
I have
professional. Let's keep it professional, right, my guy?
Hey, so creator, my question is when you ate lunch today, did it have certain mushrooms in there, like a certain substance that would open your mind and make you see lots of cool colors, man? Did that happen?
That's what that's what I was getting at.
Cause I gotta be on
That's
drugs.
exactly where I was gonna go to.
Gotta be on drugs or crazy, right? Can't be talking the truth.
Ask the question. Like, have you done any substances tonight? Have you been
No, I did
drinking?
smoke a
Like,
CBD
have you
joint
done
blunt.
anything tonight?
Actually,
I know it's a Saturday.
Yeah, so you just smoked a CBD. Okay, that kind of explains it. All right,
Oh yeah,
so
because CBD is so toxic
I
and
wanna know what was it.
horrible for you, bro.
bro, I just did an edible yesterday, so yeah. So and anyway, all right. So your evidence that a God or a good reason for us to believe in a God is because you took some good shit, man, and it opened your third eye and pineal gland. Is that what we're going with?
Pineal gland, yeah, but sure.
So that's what we're going with.
No, my evidence would be that I am God in the flesh, and I'm going to create my own reality, and you guys are all just going to witness it. And
Okay, cool.
that in
So
itself
cool.
would
So
be evidence and reason for God.
creator, put some water into
You
this.
guys will have no
Create some
ability
water
to deny it.
into this bottle here. Create some water into this bottle here.
I don't want to do that. Sorry, that's what
Oh,
you
okay.
want me to do. That's what
Cool.
you want. That's what you.
Cool. All right. Why do I get those in my lives, bro? Oh boy. All right. So it's about to be 1:40, and Indespicable is being a little punk, so he doesn't want to come up. So Indespicable is going on the mute list until he decides to come up. All right. All right, Indespicable. We're gonna mute you until you decide to come up. All right. Hey, Randall, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing well. Just up here. I invited you up because Indespicable, you and Gerald was going back and forth so much. I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and invite both of them up to see if they'll go ahead and run down the debate. But this Indespicable decided to be a little punk and run away. So we're just gonna wait to see we have some other ops. Hopefully HD is a little bit more serious than Creator on Meth that we had last time. All right, so HD, how's it going, bro? Are you at? I'm all right. Are you at least 18? And do you think you could give us a good reason to believe in a God?
Yeah, I'm 19, and I think I can give you a good reason to believe in the Islamic God and its teachings.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and give us a good reason, and either Randall or Kay will discuss with you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What's that good reason?
I'm gonna give you guys an argument that's gonna have like multiple sub.
You may need to talk to Allah about your Wi-Fi, bro, because like that's it's going in and out.
Actually, actually, my sister's in the comments.
Is it good
Is he
now?
Muslim?
He's Muslim, yeah.
Is my Wi-Fi good now?
All right, yeah, you're good now.
Karma,
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah. So
Bring Karma up.
We have a topic for you, sis. Come up here. Come up here, girl. I'm gonna send you invites, sis.
Yeah, have Karma up here because I think she's Muslim, right? She can talk about it more than I can. All right, so HD.
Yeah, she's yes.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So HD, you said that you can give us a good reason to convert to Islam. What is that reason?
yeah, I can give you guys a multiple reason.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. What's that reason?
My own sister can't get me to convert to Islam. I know you can't, but
Okay.
let's see.
Okay. Yeah. So first, I believe that the belief in God is something that's biologically instilled in everybody. Dr. Justin Baird did a study on Oxford. We found that kids who haven't even heard of any religion believed in some sort of supernatural being that's one, and that's the core message of Islam, which is a monotheistic belief in God. And also, the Islamic holy book is the only ancient book that's been preserved perfectly with no contradictions.
Wait.
And
We're
on top
lying.
of that,
We're lying. We're
okay, I'm
lying.
not done making my
Pause.
argument.
No, I don't care. We're lying already.
Actually, pause. Everybody,
Guys, you're
pause.
so
Please
aggressive
go on
here.
mute. My sister's talking.
Yes.
Hey, sister.
All right. So hey, how's it going, Karma? So everybody, pause real quick.
I just want everyone to know Karma's my sister. Karma, you have been trying to get me to convert to Islam. Do you really I just want everyone to know that my sister's been trying to get me for the longest time to become a Muslim woman.
I'm not a part of the blow yourself up kinds. We're like different, you know.
Yeah, I know you're Shia.
You know, Karma, TikTok language. Karma.
All right. So, all right, everybody mute up real quick. Everybody mute up real quick. So, all right. So,
I just want to say, if my own sister can't get me to convert to Islam, then HD.
Host, is
There
this
we
gonna
go.
be a serious debate
All right.
platform?
Yeah. So HD. Yeah, we're gonna have a serious discussion. All right. So everybody, mute up real quick.
We're
All
gonna
right.
have
So,
a serious discussion, but Karma is my sister, and she is not only a Muslim woman, but she's also studied multiple religions, and and has studied under your scholars and your religion. And so, Karma, you got the floor, sis.
all right. Hold on, but
HD,
before we do that,
religion.
hold on. Before we do that. Before we do that. All right, so let's just go ahead and reiterate what HD was saying. So HD, you said that we should believe in we should convert to Islam because you said that the Quran has been preserved with no contradictions. Karma, I'm pretty sure she can answer to that. And you said something about that human beings are built to believe. It is partially true that human beings have a propensity to believe things because of how we evolved, but that doesn't mean that we were quote unquote created to believe. That's what we found out
Yeah.
psychologically. But let's go with the contradictions in the Quran. You said that there are no contradictions in the Quran or they've been preserved. Is that your claim?
I don't have a chance to make my full argument, but those were like the first like 3 sentences that I said. Yeah, that the Quran was preserved and there's no contradiction in it. As far as the biological thing that I said is, Dr. Justin Baird did this study, so it's not coming from me. So our kids who haven't read about religion and believes in some sort of supernatural being that's one, and that's the core message of Islam, which is pure monotheism, and the fact that its holy book has been perfectly preserved, the fact that we can prove that Prophet Muhammad was a true prophet from God, gives you a plausible reason to become a Muslim and stop being around these annoying, loud women, unusual women. Anyways,
All right, no misogyny in my chat. Yeah, please no misogyny in my live. We will drop and block for that. All right. But the
I was a misogyny. I
Yeah,
kind of said a loud man, but there's no loud man here.
all right, yeah, no, I'm a very loud man. But when it comes to for example, what you were talking about, I know the study you're talking about. It did find that human beings do have a propensity to believe. Yes, that is true. But that doesn't suddenly make Islam true just because humanity has a propensity to believe. Because there are dozens of hundreds of religions around the world. Having a propensity to believe doesn't mean that Islam is all of a sudden true, because there are religions before
Also,
it.
African
Can I reply to that
spirituality
real quick?
predates Islam.
Can I reply to that real quick?
Wait,
The
Pals,
other,
do you mind if I say something
the
regarding
other
the claim
thousand.
You're
Yeah, actually,
Karma. Go
Karma.
ahead.
Yeah, actually, Karma was supposed to go next. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Wait,
Karma. Go
can I
ahead.
reply to you real quick?
Wait,
though?
hold
That's
on. Wait.
fine.
You can
No,
reply
no,
to me in a
no,
little bit.
HD. Let my
What-
sister talk.
Yeah, you're gonna reply to me in a little bit, because we're gonna get to something else. But like, she wants to say something about the Quran. I believe. Go ahead, Karma. What you
Yeah,
have to say?
Go ahead,
based on
sis.
so I like to address things based on people's individual belief system and what they follow.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing he's a Sunni Muslim. So when we break things down, he said that the Holy Quran is preserved in the true Word of God. Is that correct? It's a yes or no.
Yeah, it's been preserved through the chain
Do
of
you
the.
want do you want Sahih al-Bukhari? Do you want Sunan Ibn Majah? Or do you want Sahih Muslim? Which one do you want the reference from?
Don't ask me
Just
what I
pick your
want. Just make your argument, please.
Okay, so in every single hadith book, which is the main hadith book in Sunni Islam, I can find you at least 1,000 hadiths saying how the Quran was not preserved. I can find you from Aisha, her mouth, or a sheep ate some of the ayat from the Quran, which ayat al-Rajm was one of the stoning. That one was eaten by the sheep.
Please give me one. Let's go.
Do you
one by
want do you
one.
want the reference for the hadith?
Please give me a reference where it says the Quran is not preserved. I would love
Do you
to
want it
read
back?
that. I would love to read that. Please give it to me.
Okay. And just so you know, Muslim or Bukhari, you cannot refute these hadith because from cover to cover it is authentic.
Yeah,
You
say al
acknowledge
Bukhari,
that,
of course.
correct?
Yeah, say al
Bukhari or
Bukhari.
a Muslim?
Sure.
Okay.
What's
Give me
the
1
reference?
second. Let me pull up the reference. 1 second.
Oh, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, this
You're not
one's
winning.
gonna be
I'm like, oh, you're not winning
I would
against my
love to see what she has to bring to the
you know
table because she's so confident. So let's
I studied in Al Azhar. I'm confident with knowledge.
Okay, let's see if that's true.
Karma, can you
Okay,
tell me
I'm
what
like,
that
I'm like, so HD, stay on mute until my sister come back with her reference.
Yeah. Karma, I'm sorry.
Um,
Can you tell me what that hadith was again?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the number of the exact hadith because I remember the hadith. I just don't remember the numbers of all of them.
Yeah, sure.
Because I read about 300 different books.
Yeah, sure. That's a lot, bro.
Oh, by the way, Karma. There's like Volsi
Mhm.
and and a few of the other atheists from TikTok. They're gonna be doing an atheist / like skeptic black cookout. Like, I need you to come with me, girl. Like,
I gotcha.
no, cause bitch, I am not going to DeSantis land by myself. Like in June.
No, I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? So
Like, that is not gonna happen. Okay, no, ma'am. Even if y'all get me to go to Florida at all, honey, that Cracker Barrel ass state, honey.
there actually is a Cracker Barrel near me, which is so funny. There's a Cracker Barrel near me.
Okay, there it is. What's the number of the hadith? I found the hadith. I'm just looking for the number.
okay. You can tell me. I'll put it up on my computer.
I got you. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so this one is in Sahih Muslim, page 383. Let me just open it really quickly. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is just a little laggy.
Like, sis, your Wi-Fi
There's a
was fine
chapter.
earlier.
When I
What's
say
going on with
stuff,
your
it says a
Wi-Fi?
chapter.
No, I'm using my other device.
Which one?
The
new
tablet.
one or the
Okay,
old
there we
one?
go. So
Did you
the
wait
hadith
till the
number.
you love
with Wix.
What was the hadith number?
The hadith number is 207, but this is in the Arabic book, so I don't know what it would be in the English one.
Is this Sahih Muslim?
This is Sahih Muslim, Kitab al-Masjid wa Mawadi' al-Salah. That's what it's called.
For your words,
Okay, hang on.
It starts with said to us Yahya ibn Yahya. That's the beginning of the hadith.
So I pulled it up. It says that This hadith is narrated from the Messenger of Allah by another chain of narrators, Muhammad Abdullah Mutamir
No, it
Abu
starts with
Uthman
Yahya
Zuhair.
ibn Yahya.
You said 207, right? Say Muslim 207.
207. So because I'm looking at the Arabic one, I don't know what it would be in the English one. It just says 207, and then next to it is it says 629.
Trans context, my sister can actually speak and read Arabic like fluently.
Because I speak Aramaic, Hebrew, and Arabic, and I read in all of these languages as well. Let me try to find it in the English
Yeah, I'm
book.
gonna need a
Maybe it
little
would
bit
be
more
easier for you.
references coming up.
Give me 1 second. Let me try to
I
find it
need
in the
your more
English one. I was just trying to find it quickly for you.
Okay.
And also, this is I'm also giving you the most authentic with Sahih Bukhari or Muslim, and I'm also giving you the narration from Aisha, which is the wife of the Prophet.
Okay, sure.
Nobody more trustworthy more than Aisha herself.
Correct.
Exactly. So, what it would be? Because let me read it to you, and then also, I'm also trying to find the English version, but let me read it. I'll read it in, do you speak Arabic or no?
No, I don't speak Arabic. You're not
So it says, spoke to us, Aisha, and she said, the ayat al-Quran, the verse from the Quran that speaks about breastfeeding, and the verse from the Quran that speaks about stoning were written in a special Quran that the Prophet has written for her, has gave to her, and she had preserved it underneath her bed. And when they were busy burying the Prophet,
The goat ate it? Is it the hadith that says some sheep ate the verse? Is that what you refer? That's da'if.
there's no da'if in Sahih al-Bukhari or Muslim.
Hang on. Okay.
In Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, there's no such thing as da'if. The book is literally called Sahih Muslim and Sahih al-Bukhari. Means the correct narrations. Those are the two main books. There's no such thing as da'if narrations in them whatsoever. Any book, I would have been with you. If you would have said Sunan Ibn Majah, Sunan Ibn Dawood, Sunan Tirmizi, if you would have went to any of these books, I would have been like, yeah, they have Sahih and Da'if and Ma'qul. They have all of these other, weaknesses. Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, and that's why I picked them. They don't have any weak narrations. Speak to your sheikh a little bit. He brainwashed you. That's what ended up happening.
No problem. Just give me 1 second. I'll pull it up.
Volsi, are you able to pull that up?
I'm going on Islam Web right now, so trying to get it from there.
Islam Web, you said. Volsi,
Mhm.
are you able to go there on another device? Because I know you were trying to look it up yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Give me a second.
No, Karma. I think Volsi was trying to also look it
Yeah,
up.
that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to find it so I can tell him where to go. That's what I'm trying to find.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you find it, let me know. I'll go ahead and get up there.
So first of all, the hadith that she references from Sunan Ibn Majah. It's not from Sahih
And it's
Muslim.
also in Sahih Muslim.
It's not from Sahih Muslim. You haven't
It's also in
proven that.
Sahih Muslim.
And secondly, I have a source right in front of me that says that the chain of narration doesn't go to Prophet Muhammad, therefore it's not Sahih. It's da'if. I can open my camera.
It comes from Aisha.
It doesn't. It does. There's
Yes,
no
it
chain of
does.
narration. Can you please give me Sahih?
It literally says
You're such a
Rawi
liar.
Aisha
Wallahi, you're
Aisha
such a
Umm
liar.
al-Mu'mineen.
You're such a liar. You were so overconfident. You just lied in front of everybody.
That's not overconfidence. That's the actual fact.
Don't come in a live. Do not come in a live where I might and call my sister a liar. I will drop you, bitch. No. You do not disrespect my sister like that.
It literally says Haddathna Yahya ibn Yahya. First of all, don't lecture me about shit when you can't even speak the language of the religion that you so claim so hard to. So first of all, calm down, Cookie. Calm down.
Let's try.
Calm down. You can't even speak the language that the Quran is written in.
This may
Calm
be
down.
the last ad you ever see. because with the free ad block extension from Capital One Shopping.
Karma, is that your background?
No, has nothing to do with me.
Sorry, my bad.
Who has a commercial playing in the background? Because that's so funny.
My bad.
Is that
Sorry.
you, Volsky?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Dude,
I was going on.
for a good minute. Like, who is that?
Yeah, I was going on another website and a commercial popped up. My bad. Sorry, y'all.
That's funny as shit.
My bad,
First
Joe. I'm
of
sorry.
all,
I'm sorry. My bad.
yeah, so first of all, I want to mention something. He just pretty much said that this narration does not come from Aisha, right? So he needs to understand one thing and one important thing. There is multiple copies of the same hadith in different books. If he understood his own religion, he would understand that that's how they understand if the hadith is actually accurate or not by something called taqarrur, meaning that that hadith is in multiple books coming from different scholars from the same narration. Therefore, that hadith is authentic. Also, the hadith is in Sahih Muslim.
Okay,
You can't
so first
question
of
it,
all,
point blank,
hang on,
period.
hang on, hang on.
Also,
I want you to do two things, please. I want you to prove to me that it's in Sahih Muslim. First of all, secondly, I want
I
you
gave
to
you the
prove to
number
me
from Sahih Muslim. It's not my fault
nothing
that you don't
came
read
up.
Arabic. That has
Nothing came
nothing
up.
to do with
Nothing
me.
came up. Okay, hang on.
You're
Just let me finish
lacking in
talking.
your own skills. That's not my
Let me finish
problem.
talking, please. Stop panicking. Also, the hadith was
I'm not
narrated by
panicking.
Ibn
I'm
Ishaq.
cooking you.
Don't tell my sister.
Hang on. Hold it.
Oh, you hang on.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Michaela. Let her. I'm about to cook him
Because he got me
me
like a
fucked
sunny
up.
side egg.
The
It's
hadith
fine.
was narrated by Ibn Ishaq, and Ibn Ishaq is known for being drunk. He was known as a weak hadith narrator, and the
Bro,
specific
all of
hadith
your
goes back
caliphs
to him.
are known
That
to be
therefore makes
drunks.
it da'if
Umar
in
ibn
Sahih Muslim.
al-Khattab is known to be a drunk and a homosexual. What are you talking about? If we're gonna speak about
Getting
drunks,
disrespectful
all
because you got
your caliphates are drunks
Oh, now you're
and
getting disrespectful because
homosexual.
you got
No, those are actual facts. Those are
Not
actual
too
facts.
mad. So,
Those are
so
actual facts. Bro,
because
your
that
prophet was a mashoor. Calm
nice,
down. Your
nice.
your prophet was a bewitched. You
Thank you.
received your religion from a man that was bewitched.
Thank you.
He tried to jump literally off a mountain and
Host,
unalive himself.
I want you
Calm
to
down.
notice something. Because I intellectually dog walked her, she started getting
I
disrespectful. This is
didn't
very
dog.
common.
You didn't dog walk shit. I gave you the reference.
No, you
I
didn't.
gave you
Nothing
the
came up
reference in
right.
Arabic, which is the original language where all of your religion is written from. I
You're
gave you
you're
that reference. You can't read in that language that you that to the religion that you so closely cling to,
you're a
and have
hypocrite
the
liar. You're a
audacity
hypocrite
to
liar. You're a
come
Catholic. You're a
here
hypocrite
and talk
liar.
crazy.
Okay,
Why are you not
let's
letting
do
me
this.
speak?
Hey,
Are you threatened?
Don't call my
everybody,
sister a liar. Don't disrespect my sister.
everybody,
No.
everybody, pause up real quick. Everybody, pause up real quick. Everybody, pause
Mhm.
up real quick. I love the back. Hold on, everybody, pause up real quick. I love the back and forth. Now, I don't know much about Islam, which is why I'm deferring. Oh, you got the Panther Claw. So HD, you got the Panther Claw for your disrespect and misogyny to the ladies on the stage. So that's why you are gone. If you see a Panther Claw come across the stage, that means to kick the person off. And Tahir, our good sister Tahir, go ahead and kick them off for the disrespect and misogyny. All right. So we go ahead and got them
And
kicked
quite
off.
frankly, more so misogynoir because doing it to black women.
Also, I just
Well,
want to
Holly.
add something.
Mhm.
That specific
I'm like, I bet
hadith,
you if me and Karma were white women, he wouldn't be acting like that. If he saw blonde hair and blue eyes, fucking
swear to God.
misogynoir.
But Vossi, I just want to add something really quickly. So the hadith about the Quran
Mhm.
being, missing ayats. There's about 6 different hadith from 6 different narrations in Sahih Muslim. There's one from Umar ibn al-Khattab, which is literally their second caliphate. There's one from Aisha, which is the wife of the Prophet, which she literally narrated half of their religion for them in their hadith. Without Aisha, they have no religion. I just want to preface that. So him saying that this hadith does not exist in
Basically,
Sahih Muslim, not
Aisha,
only is he a liar, he is also going against his own religion. So by definition, by scholarly definition, he's a kafir.
So Karma, basically what you just said, and you can quote me if I'm wrong. Aisha to Islam is basically like Jesus Christ is to Christianity. Like it is
Pretty
basically.
much. She's one of the most holiest figures in Sunni Islam you can ever come close to. Aisha is like one of the main ones. First of all, she narrated about 4,000 hadiths in Sahih Muslim and in Bukhari, where the way that they got wudu, which is the way that they wash themselves, they got that from Aisha. The way that they do prayer, they got it from Aisha, watching the Prophet or the Prophet telling Aisha different hukams, which like different laws, Islamic laws, they also got it from her. And again, for all the people in the comments talk about not every hadith is authentic. Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim have been deemed by every Islamic scholar out there to be authentic from cover to cover. Those two
And like I
books,
had named
by
earlier,
every
my
religious
sister.
scholar, if you ever question these two books, you are out of the fold of Islam by scholars' opinion.
Because I'm like, because just so y'all are aware, my sister has literally studied under Islamic scholars. Like, so she's not like, so HD, she's not lying. She's not. You're just a misogynistic piece of shit who does not like to hear that women know more than you about your
He
religion.
doesn't speak the language. How is that my fault? You don't speak the
It's not
language.
your fault. I'm like,
Quran is written.
it's your fault that you smarter than him. He can't hire no smart women. That's the misogyny in his fucking ass.
Yeah, I'm looking up Sahih Bukhari right now, and
Yes, I'm like, HD, how are you gonna tell me what my sister has studied? And I'm like, and I have literally seen, not only seen what she studied, but I was on video chat with her when she was in Egypt studying it. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
yeah,
How you
it's
gonna tell me my sister
What were you looking at,
Volsi? You
Volsi?
can't
Also,
even speak the language. I'm like, the original text of your own religion, you stupid ass bitch. I'm like, disrespect my sister again, I'm gonna block your fucking stupid ass. Because you've been disrespecting my sister the whole fucking live, and me as well.
this is the akhlaq of his prophet. This is how his prophet treated women. So it's adding up. This is exactly how his prophet treated women. So I'm not shocked in the slightest. He said the only thing that can cancel a prayer is a donkey, a dog, and a woman. So this misogynistic shit, that's his prophet talking. That's his bewitched prophet talking through him.
Now, excuse me for using Wikipedia, y'all, but it does say that here. Muslims regard Sahih Bukhari as one of the two most important books among the Kutab al-Saltila and I'm sorry, I butchered that. I apologize to the Muslims here. I butchered this word here. Along the Sahih Muslim. Yeah, so what Karma says is correct. This is one of the two most important books in the Hadiths, along with Sahih Muslim. So she was correct. She wasn't lying.
No, I'm like, no, HD, I'm like, you're blocked, bitch, because you've been nothing but misogynistic and hateful to my fucking-
And also, Volsi, you have to keep something in mind. Every hadith in Bukhari and Muslim is sahih, means that it's correct. Sahih means correct. The books itself, it's called Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari, means the correct Muslim and the correct Bukhari. It's literally in the fucking title. The every hadith in there is authentic and correct. It's in the fucking title. It's called Sahih.
I don't know why they keep telling you to study more. Weren't you in Egypt studying this? This is crazy.
I'm like, just like your prophet, you don't like women. I'm like, girl, fuck you.
I studied in Al-Azhar under actual scholars, the whole religion of Islam. I've read more than 300 different hadith books.
Yes, I'm like, yes, you can join. Amar Jackson. I am Mar Jackson. I'm like, just request
Lamar?
Yeah, is that? Oh yeah, Lamar. Child. Yes, you could come up, Lamar.
But Valsi, that's why when I speak to Sunni Muslims specifically, I only mention a hadith from a few books. They believe in 4 to 6 different books, but there's 2 main ones.
Yeah, drop them, please, because I have something going on over here on my side. Yeah, go ahead and drop them. Thanks.
Because
you came up. I'm like, so y'all came up there. You came up here for that, like.
Yeah, they be coming
really?
specifically to troll.
So you came up. You asked Volsi if you could come up so you can troll. Like, y'all need to get. It is a Saturday night and y'all trolling on TikTok. Like,
Also, Volsey, I want to
what are
add,
y'all doing?
because I'm on my phone, that's why it took me a little longer because I can't leave the live and stuff. So I'm on my tablet. If I was on my phone, I would have been able to find it for him way quicker.
Okay, no, that's not a problem. I'm
But I
sorry, I'm
have
having some
everything pull-ups now.
all good. I'm having some technical issues over on my end. I'm not sure what's going on. My screen isn't showing
Wait,
up.
what's going on in your end, Volsey?
No, it's just my screen isn't showing up. But I was going to end the live soon anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end it off right here. Juju, the only reason I didn't invite you up because I didn't want everything to be too cluttered, and I'm out of guests anyway. I've been on for 3 hours, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here and end the live. But I do appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and end this off this way. You guys have a good night. And I will see you all next time. I want to do a better outro next time, but I do have to go. And y'all stay up.